got another Purge of the BS special edition going on tonight. I want to thank everybody for holding on 1 second while we set the stream up, because this is a special edition. It's Saturday night. We're going to close out the week just right. So if you're new to the channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notifications because they've been acting up lately, but we're still powering through. Now, of course, we don't normally do our whole thing on Saturday, but I wanted to take the day off for Mother's Day so that we can honor the good mothers out there. So I want to bring on my panel for the evening. I got my man Sonny Bricks, my man Bravo stopping in as usual. I got Genesis in here, and I have Kelly Corinne from the Kelly Corinne Show. So would you guys join me in another Purge of the BS? Please, everybody say hello, please. Just say hello.
Hello, please. Hello, please.
Hello, everyone.
All right, it's looking
hello,
good.
hello.
It's looking good. Making sure we got our mods in the chat in case anybody gets disrespectful. Our mod squad will deal with that. Okay.
Yes.
So because this is the Purge of the BS, I have to give them the disclaimer. You guys give me just a moment here. Thank you.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another Purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the Purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without prejudice. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the Purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
Alright guys, well we are here with another Purge of the BS. And I just want to thank my special guest for stopping in today, because we're going to get started real quick. I don't want to keep y'all all night. It's a Saturday night, so y'all might have something else to do, just in case. Now, as you may know...
I'm 48 years old. I ain't got nothing else to do.
On a Saturday? He said that on a Saturday? Nah, not that day.
I'm up late right now as it speaks.
He said get the clock going. Well, guys... I had to, since we have all parents on the panel today. Everybody got children on the panel today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
First time Mother's Day.
Yes, first time Mother's Day for Genesis there. So thank you for stopping. And we're going to get some perspectives from a couple of different angles and generations today, which is what I was going for. You know, not that I don't like just talking with the guys, but, you know, it can get a little crazy with the gentlemen. But anyway, so there was a recent story that came out when we were talking about parenting the other day, and some people were saying that there's like an epidemic of some parents trying to raise their kids too quickly. And they sent me a clip of a kid driving, and I wanted y'all to see it. Just want to see how y'all feel about it, whether you feel that this is too much too early, or if it's a parent getting ahead of the game. All right, just hold on a second. I'll bring this over for you. Got to share it with them.
Was it Latavius doing hood rat stuff with his friends?
Yes.
Oh, I think they took it down. Yeah. See, they've been acting crazy lately.
Too dangerous.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of times when you get with, you know, stuff on X, it can be a little tough to stay up, some of it. So let's see what we got here. Okay.
I'm glad you talking about the website because
You remember Short Round from Indiana Jones with the boxes on his feet? He was the getaway driver. He was like 12.
that's true. That's true.
This is what
And
we
now
do,
he's
man.
everywhere
Oh,
all
I
at
got
once.
it. I got it. I'm sorry. I had put the wrong link in there, folks. I apologize. So just bear with me a
We're
second.
professionals.
Yes.
Right. We both had 50-cent cakes.
Both had 50-cent cakes.
All right. You guys can see this little guy in the driver's seat
Oh,
here?
my God.
Oh, snap. This is a
What do
baby.
I feel like if he turned the wheel all the way to the left, the wheel would flip his ass over into the next seat?
Well, his father's right next to him, so he's
I'm about to say, who's recording?
Yeah, the dad's recording. So
Oh, no way.
Yeah, can you see his phone plugged into the stereo?
Oh, he's driving.
Yo,
in
not
traffic.
a real road, yo.
he's on a real road.
Hold on, wait. Turn it off.
I might get dinged for this music. I hate that stuff.
Yo, this dude, you know what he's doing, right? He was like, look, which is worse, having my kid drive or getting arrested for this drunk driving?
That's
Right.
really what's going on. You taking video just in case they all get arrested.
Right.
Either way, you're going
I
to
was
lose that
right
kid.
there. I was right there with him the whole time, though. Like I was
He
supervising.
wasn't unsupervised.
Yo, he's doing a good 45 at
That's
this
what I was
point.
going to say. He's not doing bad.
He actually drives better than a lot of grown-ups I know. So
He looking both
Yeah.
ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, he got the 10 and 2.
Hands on 10 and 2,
You
right?
know what?
Hands on
We got
10 and
to. Let me
2.
tell you what, Kelly. I don't know
All
if you
right.
deal with this on your channel, but when we have the reactions like we just did, they tell us that we're promoting like dysfunctional children. Like it's actually,
Oh, I
get
never
these
had
emails
that.
all the time. Yeah, because they'll be like, "Oh, they were giving him props, and he had his hands at 10 and 2," and they'll say that we're promoting. What they call it, delinquency of a minor. Wasn't that the last one we got? Yeah,
Yeah.
they get us every
Like,
time.
look,
So I'm willing to
They
they
take
can
the
hold
heat for
that strike because that's a
charge.
whole ass crime right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
So-
not even a little bit.
So the question is, do you guys think this is too much too early, or are we doing some good supervised parenting here?
Why are we on a real road?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you got to train in the elements, you know? You got to train in the elements.
But here's
This
the,
kid
here's,
is like
here's the
12.
thing.
Do you
Like,
think
is
he
it
is?
okay for the part? He can't be 12. This kid is like, he got.
That's what I'm gonna say. If he was 12, I really wouldn't be that mad at it. My older brother, he let me drive down the street when I was
You're
12.
telling on yourself
I
already.
started having my kids drive in the movie parking lot, and when they were around 11 or 12. But it wasn't no real road though. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was on the
Wasn't
road.
no
But
real road.
it wasn't a heavily traveled road. I will say that.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Yeah.
said, I drove
It's a whole
early
ass crime,
in a
man.
lot of different ways, and I feel like this kid just really isn't doing that bad. And it's a straight road, doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic. It's not raining. You know, the
Hold
elements on it.
up, sir.
This would be his logic.
Sir, what you
Right.
said I drove early in a lot of different ways.
He definitely did.
What are you, a car thief?
Hey, man, hey, statute of limitations doesn't run out on certain things, so we're not going to talk about that.
I drove
Not
early in a
driving.
lot of different ways.
Okay, so we're missing the whole point though. Like we see the kid, we see the dad sitting here.
Mhm.
The bigger problem is why are people videotaping their own crime?
Right.
This is not
Yeah.
smart. Like they could find out who this person is. It's all over the internet.
Easily.
No, I
it
think
started
he's videotaping evidence in case he crashed
I think
car.
the biggest problem here is that
To
the
say who
young
was
man is
driving?
not wearing his seatbelt.
yeah, that's the real problem.
But see, he
Right.
can't though. He can't.
He's so
look how-
small.
right.
You
He's
gotta
so close
move the
up.
seat
He
up.
can't.
So according to the
Something.
caption, it says this kid is 5 in
Oh
the
my gosh.
comments.
See, I thought he was like
Yeah, they said he
10.
was 5.
I thought
so,
10.
yeah.
I don't think he's
I
5.
don't-
He's
I
not
don't-
5. They don't know what they're
big for
talking
No, he's
about.
not 5.
He looks a
He's
little
not
big for
5.
5. They said
He's
he was
not
He is
5.
not.
He's not 5.
He got to be
Nah.
7 or 8.
You are
That's
too
what I think.
small to drive if it looks like you're steering like a pirate ship. Like,
Right.
like this ain't it. Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, the question that was on the internet, that's why I bring them to y'all, because I have my opinions. I think this was very unsafe,
Right.
but at the end of it, hopefully he didn't get hurt, but he looked like he was doing okay. But this is like, if
If
he
the
does
steering
okay,
wheel is
you're going to
rubbing
keep
against your
doing it.
belly, you shouldn't be driving.
Shoot, I
If
would.
that
just period.
airbag deploys, he's going through the back window.
Through the
Yeah.
trunk. He's going
Yeah.
right through the trunk. You know?
that's
At least he's supervised. My first time driving, I was driving a burning car by myself.
You were driving a what?
Yeah, you know about that. Don't get quiet.
no. We're not gonna talk about old crimes. I told y'all we're not gonna do this today.
Old crime.
Yeah, man. I have been arguing with these YouTube
There I
people
go
about
criming
crime.
again.
They said that we have
All
been
right, let me
promoting
not get
crime.
you in trouble.
All right, so let me get to my next clip over here with y'all, man. Since I got
What
y'all
if
on here.
CPS came to get
Okay.
Genesis now?
At this point, it's crazy.
They
Like,
leave the baby
oh,
there and
for
take
real?
Genesis.
Oh, for real? I heard what your daddy did. All right, so apparently in this one, for my people who fly, this was another.
That looks
encounter-
like RDU. Right?
Yeah, this is an encounter at a Frontier check-in.
That's my airport. This is where I fly all the time. You know.
Well, then you may have caught this gentleman who was late for his flight. Then the people would not check him in because they said it was too late to check in for this flight. And they didn't let him in, so he got mad and then he recorded this, I guess to expose them. But the question is, did he expose them or expose himself? So let's see what the encounter is. I'm just trying to see where the BS is.
I hope he didn't
with Purge.
expose himself.
Not in the
They like,
airport.
you big bag. And you think you're gonna check me in? I bet you we won't.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
I paid.
bet you
I paid
won't.
for a ticket.
And you
Yeah,
didn't
I
pay
paid
$25
for a
for
ticket.
agent assistant, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just
And
said
you
that
thought you
I.
was gonna get on your flight.
Yeah, I
And
just
you thought
said
you
that
was gonna
I
get on your
would
flight.
pay the
And you thought you was gonna get
$25.
on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight.
I literally paid
Oh,
for a
they're laughing
ticket.
at
I'm
him.
here
That's
30
messed
minutes.
up.
I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not
Exactly.
letting me check
That's
in.
way too
You're
late.
not getting on your flight.
That's way too late.
We don't control that.
And you will never fly
You were
on
about to
Frontier
let me
unless-
check in. You were about to let me check in,
Oh,
and you
make-
decided that you ain't gonna
make
let me check in.
you Make me check you in. Make
You
me
literally
check you
work
in.
for a
Make
company
me
that
All
I
right, now I gotta pause it. I gotta pause it here because there's an escalation point that we've reached here. I hear what Bravo just said. The person was late, and they
Yeah.
did not pay to have the agent check in. They were supposed to do the self whatever.
Right.
So they tried to charge the person $25 for that. The person said no, they're not paying that. And that's what started this argument. So now, well, we're not going to check you in anyway, and you're late for your flight. So far, they had a leg to stand on. I'll give them that. But now she's kind of being mean. I don't know. What you guys
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Why
Here's
are
what-
they recording?
Wait, go ahead. No, they're doing it just because he pulled out his phone, so they're trying to record on the other side as well. But here's the thing: he's entirely wrong. Let's just say, let's just start there, because he said he's not going to pay the $25, which is what they require for them to check him in, because he didn't pay for agent check-in.
Right.
He said he's supposed to do it on the app. He did none
Right.
of those things, so he's 100% wrong. However, she is right but rude, which kind
Yes.
of makes you less right.
She's
You know what I
giving
mean?
Shaniqua vibes, and I don't like it. That's
Right.
what the
It's
racist
too much.
IT say.
Because here's the thing. Yeah, because here's the thing. Because this is what goes out on the internet.
Mhm.
Right.
Not the fact that she's like, she was just giving worship in church the other day, or gave a homeless man $100. None of that's going on the internet. Is this right here?
right?
Yeah.
But why would Frontier back this type of customer service?
I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do. This is the encounter.
See if she's employed on Monday. See if she's employed on Monday.
No way.
Well, from what I've heard, Frontier is worse than Spirit, so I'm not.
It's terrible. I've never flown it, but I've heard.
Yeah, I've never flown it either, but I will say her conduct is
Frontier. I got the big seat.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is just my personal opinion, and it's funny because I've flown the cheap flights many times over the last 3 years or so, and for some reason, the Spirit flight personnel just look better than the people on Frontier. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
Like in a general, I don't know what that's about. I've been wondering
if
that's
Walmart,
like these are where the de facto
Target
Spirit
situation.
people go. The Spirit people go to Frontier. Like you couldn't make it on Spirit, so you drop down a notch to Frontier.
Yeah, but if
Frontier is very random.
If you really look at it, though, are you paying less?
For what? Frontier versus Spirit?
So look, if I fly American, they might charge me $30 for a bag, right?
Right.
But I normally get the military discount, so I don't pay for bag. But I tried to be slick and get Frontier one time. I even tried Spirit. You get there and then they're like, okay, well, it's going to be extra for those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to pay extra for a seat. You're going to have to pay for a carry-on. You're wearing a hat. You're going to pay for that too. You end up paying more than you would for American.
Did you want to freeze on the flight, or did you want to?
I will say I've flown Spirit once, and I will say with all the extras, I did still save. Now I'm a frequent American flyer. That's who I fly the most.
All right.
Yeah.
But I will say it was a noticeable difference flying Spirit, and I will say I didn't have an issue. I did not have an issue. My brother had a hour store.
So you're saying it was cheaper.
It was even with me checking my bag, it might have been like more than $100. It was at least $100.
So this is what I'm saying, and it's probably my ignorance. Okay, I'm gonna put that out there first. But I at one point I think I was like, oh shit, like it's $87 to fly to New York. So I get to the airport and they're like,
"Oh yeah, that's the gotcha. That's the gotcha price." That's the gotcha price.
I say it's probably my ignorance because it probably said on the app, "Yeah, we're gonna charge you the tuxedo fee and all of this other stuff."
Right. Yeah, only if you fly on Tuesday and wear flip flops. Yeah, that's right.
Like a buddy of mine, comic. He got on Spirit or something like that. He gets to the airport all pumped up, ready to go, and my phone's ringing. He's like, "Hey, bro, can I borrow $50 for my suitcase?" Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't take a bag on that plane? That's the type of shit I thought.
Yeah.
The thing is that but a lot of people will spend the money wrong. Like I do save money and I fly Spirit and Frontier. I usually fly the cheapest thing smoking. That's just normally what I do. But in those cheap flights, I do all the upgrades I can. You know what I mean? I get the big seat. You know what I mean? I get the Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? I get the carry-on included. I get all of that. So it's way cheaper. But then I bump it up to I think Frontier calls it the big seat. So I get that. And I'm okay. And it makes it all good. I have no check-in, no nothing. I just walk right up, have everything on my phone. And I'm there an hour and a half early. Not like, you don't want to pay $25.
You got to get there early.
Okay,
you got to get there early.
Let's see how the interaction concludes. All right. Let's see what they end up with. So far, I think it's bad customer service, but also the guy was late. So that's the BS. We're purging the BS in it. So we're non-objective to that regard.
And she ain't even giving a good sass. She's doing that repetitive shit like that. Like, come up with a new one.
That's why you're not gonna get on your flight. That's why you're not gonna get on your flight.
Then she did the little pinch.
And the other ladies laughing in his face.
I just want to note that the customer, they always come to that thing of like, well, you're working a job. We can tell what's going on the other side.
Right. We know exactly who's behind the other side of that camera.
He said, you ain't about to check me. Like,
yes, he only said ain't when he was talking about what they were saying. Right. He didn't mean,
he got inspired.
Well, listen. And you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for.
And
I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my
They
personal
closed
space?
the door 30
personal
minutes.
space. This is not your personal space.
This is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
Yo, this is a unified front.
Yeah, that
It's
looks
the
like
lady
the
in the back
manager.
for me.
Yeah,
She just pays.
that's the MOD
I'm
right there
literally
saying
here
no.
at
Go ahead.
Frontier. I bought a ticket,
Oh, they,
and
none
they
of
are
them
not
care.
letting me
Look
check
at
in.
this. We could care less.
No, you're not
Record
gonna
us.
find. You're not gonna find anybody that
For
cares.
no
in
reason
Frontier.
whatsoever.
Forget this guy.
Flying the airline again, so we might as well help you out and have you not fly the airline.
I've already bought a ticket.
Yo, why
I've
did Larry
literally
come in
already
with the
bought a ticket
assist?
and
Yo,
Yo, that was a
reaction.
cool assist. Did you check it? He said, well, you said you're never flying this airline again, so we figured we could help you out by not letting you fly today. Damn, Larry.
we're starting now.
Look,
Damn,
look,
Larry.
We're starting now.
I didn't expect that.
Larry the GOAT. Larry the
Way
GOAT.
down at
He's
the
been waiting to
end.
cut up.
From way at the end. He's
Yeah,
been watching
yo.
the whole thing. Like, I can't wait to just deliver this one line.
Light it up.
Timing
Get
was
somebody
Light
give
it up
him
from
a
half
reason.
court, yo. Larry. Hey, Larry.
So here's the question in the poll right now was whether Frontier and Spirit are basically the same experience. I believe yes. They're pretty much the same price, seats are the same size, except the Frontier people just don't normally look as good as the Spirit people.
Spirit don't do nothing but lower my spirits. I don't like flying on
Maybe
that
it's the
shit.
color scheme. Maybe the yellow and it's kind of like a bumblebee. It's sweet honey, versus
I don't
that.
mind that. I just feel like you know how like a chaperone talks to you when you get on a field trip in elementary school.
Right.
That's how I feel like I'm being addressed. Like, like nigga, just got. Excuse me. I'm ready to go. I don't care
That's
about.
why. That's why he can't be on no podcast. That's why he can't be on no podcast.
Can I
That's
help
why he can't be on no
you?
podcast.
Can I help you? No, nigga. Take off.
Can I
Make
help
sure we
you?
land. Damn it.
Jiggle yang to the
Right.
figgle yang.
What you gonna
Dig you
do?
dig and you do.
That's that Baltimore.
Fuck oh yeah. Fuck oh yeah.
No,
You
they
heard what he
definitely
said?
did.
You heard what he
They
said?
be
Yeah.
like, they in their living room or something.
So you said, Bricks, this is an
Right.
airport in what, North Carolina?
Yeah, it's
It looks
RDU.
clean.
Like,
It looks real nice.
bro, right behind her is Delta. And that's the only airline I'll fly if I want to make money. Because Delta don't never got a goddamn plane with room on it. Like when you ready to fly, they be like, does anybody want to stay back and we'll give you some vouchers or some shit?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk them.
You
I
know
done
what?
talked them up to $1,000. I'm like, yeah, I don't
Oh,
care.
wow.
Shit.
Okay.
Yo, you know what's funny here? Look at this picture. Look at that lady. She's like, she has that you done fucked up face.
Yeah.
That lady who packing her shit. I'm causing no troubles on my side.
Yeah,
I
as
don't want
long
none
as
of
I
your
still
fucked
get on
upness
my
leaking on
flight.
over here.
Yeah, as long as I still get on
Bro,
my
she
flight.
looked like, stop filming me. I'm trying to get the dope in the bag.
Gotta get this across the border.
All right, see, this is where we get in trouble every time we're talking about trafficking with Negroes again. Can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Sensitive YouTube.
I'm talking about scented
Trying to get
candles. I
these
don't know what you're
spirits
talking
over
about.
this frontier. What you gonna do?
Okay.
Hell yeah, pure American.
Well, guys,
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
move off of the frontier and we're going to go into our more serious topics today, okay? We're gonna do some serious stuff, all right? I'm sorry, though. The people in frontier just don't look as good as the people in Spirit. I don't know what it is.
Especially there, man. Everybody looked like the spokesman for Morning Breath that morning.
So,
Hot dog, water.
What'd you do when you woke up? Chew socks?
Yeah. The funk of 40,000 years.
Okay, all right. We got to calm it down.
What kind of toothpaste do you use? Cheese?
Yeah, darkness. Go ahead. My
I'm
bad.
trying to go into my serious topics. I got to be
Oh, okay,
serious,
my bad.
man. You know, I
Yes, sir.
got to give the SEO what it wants.
They had serious halitosis.
Yeah, I got to give the SEO what it wants. So the question that was asked of me this week, I've been doing these little forums where I ask the people ask the questions and you come up with like these hypothetical answers, so to speak, based on the question. And the main question was somewhere along the lines of whether or not we get more protests for the wrong things. Like if we're getting more energy protesting for the wrong issues. So there's been a lot going on lately in the news, and it's like some things are being protested and there's a whole situation and news is covering, and other stuff is kind of like, oh, let's not say anything about that. So the question was basically, are we putting our energy in the wrong directions as far as what we're actually standing up for or standing against? So there was a protest recently, and I didn't know what was going on. You know, people send me film, and so there was a protest at Columbia University where there was just like a bunch of people protesting. And I think does anybody know what the real protest is? Is it still Palestine now? Are we still on that?
Yes, they still been doing that. Mm-hmm.
Is that all? Or did we pick up a new cause along the way? No. Okay.
What's the other one?
Pretty much.
No, it's at Harvard too. They're protesting the Gaza thing.
Okay, so
I mean, also
Israel,
the protester that they deported.
Okay.
At the colleges,
situation.
Well, at the colleges, it's primarily the Gaza thing. I will say that. Now they've had other protests, like in DC. They had a protest against, like Genesis was saying, against the administration, but they had like certain signs. That's how I knew.
It's a protest here every day. Something new every day.
Right.
So I was trying
you know what?
to
Just like that show we
I
did.
don't get it myself. I'm like, if I see a bunch of Caucasian children at privileged universities with, you know, stuff on their heads trying to look like they're from another, it's very confusing to me. And I didn't know what the cause was anymore, because I thought things were kind of cooling down in some places. But I wanted y'all to see this clip that came to me because I didn't know it was like this. That's why I asked you guys if you were aware, because I didn't know all this was even going on. I was still caught on the Tyree Nichols situation. I thought we were still talking about that. And apparently there's a liberated zone encampment at this university. So I guess the police came in and busted the whole thing up, got a little violent, and now everybody's upset and protesting against how they were upset when they were protesting. Like the treatment of the protesters, now they're protesting that. So I don't know. I just wanted y'all to.
It's all fool. It's all foolish to me. It's all a distraction, because really we're left against right, we're this against that. You know what I mean? We're black against white, when it's really been always has been rich against poor.
Yeah, it's class.
And
it's a class.
And there is a real uniparty, but we can't talk about. It's some people that control both sides.
The folks. Yeah, the folks with money always agree with each other.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, forget all that, man. Millions? Yeah, millions. Okay.
You know what? Before you play this clip, it's funny that y'all say that, because I'm one of them people that'll be on a panel or listening in one of them on TikTok, and when they do the left and right discussions. And here recently, because I had gone into some MAGA chats, but here recently the MAGAs have not really been talking about the same things no more. Now they're talking about relationship issues and stuff like that. But everybody's laughing and getting along. And so I say that because there are things that I feel are put in place to divide, to make it easier to confuse, because when you remove the politics from the discussion, everybody's getting along. When they removed the racism from the discussions, everybody was getting along. And so, like, yeah, go ahead and play the clip. But that's what I've been noticing recently.
And there's one issue the left and the right agree on.
Money?
No,
there's plenty of them actually.
The one I'm talking about is both sides are really upset about what's going on over in Gaza, because I be on them TikTok spaces too.
Right. So just to kind of wrap that into a nutshell, is that the government wants it and the regular people on both sides do not? Is that what I'm sensing? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm not. I already am against war in general, because I have family members, including my son.
When did we turn into the Vikings, where we just going to take people's lands? Like, let us take Greenland. Like, yo,
the problem is what this country was founded on was separation of the church and the state, but now we involving the state to fight for somebody's church. That's crazy.
All right, well, let me bring the clip up. Let's see what we got here. Got my clip going. All right, so y'all can see this little situation going on here right now. I'm gonna play some of it. It seems like it's just a bunch of people fighting. That's all I can see. And I didn't know what they were fighting about, so that's why I asked the preliminary questions, because I didn't really understand why they decided to make an encampment inside of a university. And I guess the question is, should they be arrested for doing that? So, I don't know. Let's see what they got. That's my real question. Are these all Muslim people or white people?
No. It's
a
white. Yeah, it's a mixture. Mm-hmm.
It's a mixture.
What? They are
and the thing is,
here's the thing. Before you get carried away with watching the violence and whatever's happening, the facts need to be established. Did they have a right to gather in this space in such a way? Did they get permits? Did they get clearing to do so? If they're protesting, if this is a civil disobedience thing, then you get locked up.
Okay.
Dr. King got locked up a whole lot. You know what I mean? So
well,
it's like,
if this is Colombia, I'm pretty sure they didn't because I actually know a little bit about this. What's been happening too, you have these students that are on visas, they have been participating in these protests or whatever, and they are getting arrested and they're trying to deport them. I'm of the opinion
they already got one of them already.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Get him out of here, because my thing was, how you gonna come to America and protest what we got going on? Like, if it was the students that are actually American citizens, I kind of understand it, but I'm also of the opinion I don't think anybody should be protesting on these school campuses, because as much money as they paying to go to school, and they have videos of people coming in the classrooms, like causing the disruption. And as much as these schools cost, I'm like, nah, man, y'all can't be doing that. So, and I'm gonna say this: the reason why they have the masks on, if y'all are wondering, with this particular conflict, there are certain individuals that are on the opposite side of what these people are on, and they have facial recognition technology. And what they were doing, they was finding out who these people were and sending information to their jobs, and people were getting fired. So that's why they have.
So do you get fired for protesting? Like, if you're just laying in?
It depends on your employer. It depends on your employer.
It depends on the employer, because a lot of the employers, as y'all know, they are very wealthy too. And like y'all said earlier, the rich always agree on certain things.
Well, they're gonna fold because they don't want that smoke. Because no business that's making money who's really like apolitical as their outward standing wants that smoke. They don't want to, and the thing is because these people are taking pictures and making a stink out of it, even though it's a microcosm, it seems like it's everybody attacking that business saying, do you see what your man is doing? It seems like a lot, because normally they'll get like what? You know how hard it is to get somebody to do feedback on like Google on a business, and all of a sudden now you're getting like 1,500 emails about, is this your man on campus? Right? So of course they're going to fire those people. You know what I mean? So,
I think it depends on how powerful
leverage.
the business is, because like I work in DC and there's protests every day. I've had coworkers go to protests. I've had coworkers be on the news. I was just on the news 2 days ago. Like,
girl,
it doesn't really
PG
affect
County.
anything. And like people, they view it. No, PG's like that too, man. When I tell you, everybody on the news every day. So like, I feel like it depends on where you are too, because like they really don't care. Like, as long as it's not like something, because the thing about scandals like this, it only lasts for like a few hours and then everybody's off of it. So like if you're like on TV like really cutting up and it lasts for like weeks, then they probably gonna let you go. Or like if you get viral on TikTok and it lasts for like a month. But like the way our
I'm just talking about the
nowadays,
harassment
like,
campaign. I'm just
they're
talking
not
about
really
the
gonna
harassment
care.
campaign.
Like, because the people at the top of the companies, those are the people that be in the shadows. They don't want to be known, but they privately donating to all this stuff. So
Meanwhile, everybody got their job at Frontier still.
Well,
no,
Act like you're gonna fire me for protesting. Act like you're gonna fire me for
Yo,
protesting.
that white guy was the owner of Frontier, Larry.
he vouched for all.
Larry the GOAT.
Yes.
Well,
man. Why? But my question.
Rumble.
But
I need to
hold
watch
on, because
people rumble.
all right, go ahead.
That's the clip to add the context. But like I said, I wanted to know what they were fighting about, and this is the police trying to get everybody out of here. I apologize for the language.
Relax. She's on the floor. She's on the fucking floor.
But that's a private university, right?
Yeah, apparently.
That's private property.
So if they gotta go, they gotta go.
That's my point exactly. If they broke the law, don't be mad when the law be coming for you.
Well, see, it's been a lot of gray area with that lately as far as like, what's the, to what extent a person has broke the law and like whether or not this should be the punishment.
I mean, like,
No,
if
wait,
it was
here-
a group
it's
of homeless
resistance.
people, would they be the same way?
Yeah, they would go twice as hard.
yeah.
People love to kick their homes.
I think
they-
so.
So then
It
it's
would
like,
be
all
way
right, y'all
harder.
trespassing. Like,
Well, hold on.
Actually, for
But why
homeless
are they
people, they would do it in
doing
the
this
middle of
on
the
a
night.
college campus?
That's
That's
I'm
what I
trying
still
to
don't
figure out.
understand.
That's been my question. That's why I'm
and is this
asking
the
about
campus
private
police or
property.
is this
and-
Oh,
like?
I know
this
why.
is the New York police. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I
I'm
think
sorry. I
it's
didn't cut
university.
you off.
Oh no, my theory why I think it's on college campuses so much is because a lot of these students are very pro, what do you call it? Pro Gaza. Like a lot of the movements are on these campuses, and even that I can't think of the dude's name, but his name was Mahmoud something, the one that was
Yes.
supposed to
Right.
get deported. Yeah, even
Yeah.
though he had graduated, even though he was a graduate school, he was a graduate
Yeah.
student and he had graduated, he
Yes.
still had connections to the pro Gaza, whatever I want to say chapter, but it wasn't chapter. But y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
The pro Gaza
the movement.
the movement at that
Yeah.
school. Like that's where, and I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of these, like you say, private institutions, they're very far left, and
Right.
they, yeah, you get what I'm saying. They really political. They really against the Gaza thing. So that's my theory as to why it's on these campuses. So
See, this is my thing. Like this is why I don't understand. I mean, I understand protests, but I don't understand what people are thinking where they choose their locations. So, for example, you want to make a difference, go down to Capitol.
Yeah.
Somebody, they'll hear about it. But you gonna go protest at the school you go to? And I want to speak to what Kelly said earlier, bro. I could
everybody,
not
let's get together
imagine.
and shit where we eat.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could not imagine going to Russia or China and saying I'm about to go protest. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You gonna
'Cause
do
you could have stayed
what?
where you was at. You could have stayed home.
Right. And that's why I was
I
asking
honestly-
if these are white people that just go to the school, if this is another group that's just like infiltrating the school. I was
They're
very
not
confused
white.
about
They're
who
not,
this cast
They're not
is.
white. They're not Persian. They're not black. They're just misguided.
They probably got a
I'm
group
just-
chat on Signal.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
there's too
it's
many
a-
Black Americans.
And
I'll
that's the
tell you that
thing.
much.
It's like, why is it we don't have this kind of movement for anything that's really worthwhile? Is really, I guess, where the question is. Like, why don't we have all this energy for something local? You know?
Yo, he looked like a Popeye manager. yo.
Because here's the thing. Here's the reason why. To answer your question, Hayes, the reason why we don't have that much movement for things that are local is because the people who need the things that are local have day jobs
Yeah,
and
That's
can't be
true.
going out protest.
they got time.
You know what I mean?
So I guess
That's
the
why we
college
vote for.
kids
That's
can
why we
do it.
vote for our representative.
Yeah, the college
Yes,
kids
because
got time.
what? Hey, they got time for it.
I tell you what, though, man. I'd be kind of nervous if I was at the school and them jokers start bringing them hairdressers out. Like, yo, you had that in your bag the whole time? Like, what up, yo?
I
Nah,
think
but
them joints kind of hard though. I kind of
they are though. Yeah, they are. I mean, if you get the red,
Yeah, but
the red and white,
The red
what's
joint
that?
hard,
The-
right?
The
Yeah.
jihad joint, yo. You
You know, the
I
problem
had one.
is, the problem is that you know what I mean. Once with clips like this,
Why does this lady
how
have her
hard is
baby
it for the
out?
right? How
Who's
hard?
parent?
Hold on a
Wait,
second.
wait,
Wait a
wait.
How
second.
hard
wait a
is it for
second,
the
wait a
right-
second. Wait. I'm
It's
sorry.
Antifa coded, yo.
Why does this lady have a baby out here?
Because she was
Right,
trying
the
to get
baby
to the
was scared.
McDonald's next door,
Because
yo.
she couldn't get to work because she wasn't at work. That's
Not
why.
a black
you know,
woman.
there's
This-
always-
she a foreigner. That lady's a foreigner. She not Black American.
Hey,
She's
I
a
take umbrage with that
She
one. Then.
looks.
I'm not.
Look at
I'm
the
not
baby
that's no
face.
disrespect. I'm just saying that's not. Does that look like Come on, man.
She look American, yo. She look like
She's-
Shantae Dam in
nah,
Street.
Honestly, she didn't even know what was going on.
York.
She just wanted a reason to
Yeah,
protest.
she looks like the, but she kind of looks like the new statue in Times Square to me. So
Don't even get me started on this.
You talking about Thicky Lake?
yeah, I thought it was Letitia James's statue. I thought that's what
Why
it was.
everybody's saying that? Everybody's saying
I
that.
said they put a statue up of her. I thought she was in trouble.
Yo, but I do want to talk
Fannie
about
McGee.
this though, man. When I was a child growing up, and I would see pictures, the sepia or black and white stills of the civil rights movement. I never once said, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be the guy in the uniform in one of these pictures. And what I don't think a lot of these officers realize is like 30, 40 years from now, the people bullying these civilians for protesting that's you. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? They're not starting fires. They just yelling about something that they don't
but
like.
It looks like they settled themselves into a building on a campus and just
But see,
set up
did
in
you
there.
notice how the video started out peaceful?
No, this video didn't start out peaceful. It was a fight from
No,
the
they did
second it
not.
came on.
No. No, because it looked like it went back.
Yeah, this is not
Yeah,
peaceful.
Popeye rushed
okay.
in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Popeye.
This was not peaceful at all.
There's no peaceful.
No,
in
it's
this.
not. Because you had
yeah, I
it when
see
you
the
when you played it
Palestine flag.
earlier. When you played like I guess we were more forward when I said the guy looked like he managed Popeyes.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot more calm. But see, my point is, it don't seem like these things get riled up until the police show up.
Yeah, but they
Where's
got
the
Could be
shields and all
wrong.
that
Who
that
else
they
is
had
going to
during
get them out the
BLM?
building? Who else is supposed to get them out the
Now,
building?
Kelly put me on to something new. I didn't know that they was going in classroom. I thought they was out front, just like, yo, we don't like this shit.
Nah, they was going in the
Oh, they
classroom.
going
That's
in.
what I'm saying.
They
You
was
can't
cutting
do
up.
that.
That's a little too much.
So here's what I'm saying. The reason why this even looks violent is because they just not leaving. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the problem. When the police show up and you know their job is to remove you,
Right.
just go ahead. You got me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't start kicking shit over when they were just sitting in at lunch counters and whites only lunch counters.
True.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't start doing that shit.
But again,
You know
this
what I
is
mean?
location, yo. You wanna fix something or piss somebody off? Do like they did down there in Charlotte, North Carolina, and stand in the damn road, bro. That's how you
Yeah,
start
that's
to
annoying.
bring about
Right.
That's how
change.
you get run over.
Not if
But
it's a
here's the
whole
pro- I don't-
crowd, yo. They don't,
I don't
be
believe
Man,
that
they run
anybody,
crowds over.
any one of these people are going to care about this thing that they're getting arrested for in about 3 months. I don't think so. Because I think a whole lot of people are
Bro,
in the
it's
cause
babies
because they
in
need to feel
Gaza,
something.
bro.
You know what I mean? Because they need to feel something. But what are they doing? You know what I
It's
mean?
babies
There are
over
material
there, man.
things.
Like,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
ain't-
There are
that's the whole.
but there are
thing.
material
you know
things you can
what?
do.
But this private
You know what,
property.
Mr. Bravo? I think a lot of these people may be Muslim though, because a lot of the kids that's what's happening, like what Sonny was saying, maybe
Right,
they feel
but
a kinship to them. I
And
don't
nothing
know.
wrong with that. But I said, but there is a material way you could be more effective rather than doing this. You can actually go to your local newspapers and speak your piece. You can actually stand up and have hearings and have talks and go to your local council members and all that stuff. Do those things that actually have a bigger bang for your buck rather than laying down on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I wouldn't be there. I
because
wouldn't be out
honestly,
there.
man, this stuff like this is a drug dealer's dream. Because all these police is down there dealing with them. Them jokers are now got free reign to push and peddle dope to the community.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's all of it's a pain in the ass. But I think at the end of the day,
Should
it's
they
just
be
location.
arrested? Is the yeah? So the question is,
I think
is like,
so. Heck yeah.
If they are
like
breaking the
everybody,
law, yes.
everybody though, and for those
Yes.
that don't,
I think
that
they
have-
all gotta go.
Everybody gotta go.
and
all
for
of them.
those-
Except for the baby. But everybody else though.
But
Nah,
I'm
get him
saying
too.
there's
The
a
baby can
secondary,
drive. We've already established that.
Yeah,
The baby
the getaway driver.
Yeah, but there's
Get
the
him
secondary
too.
question about any of those students who happen to be on like student visas. Should they be deported as a result of being part of these protests?
They shouldn't be part of that shit, to be
Hell
honest.
yeah, they should be departed. Hell yeah, they
Probation,
should be
because
deported.
I feel like with this type of movement,
I
it's
see
so
where we
exciting
stand.
for people. They're like, oh, okay, America is literally just protest. That's probably what all they see on the news. So they see
What-
this, they're like, okay, I'm gonna organize. This is what y'all do.
What
When
does
I
the
went to
school get out of
college,
that?
Man, we had to get permits if we was going to do something like this. We did BLM,
That's
all
what I'm
that.
saying.
Like,
Facts.
y'all gotta go across the same way that we had to go for BLM. Y'all need to do the same thing if that's what y'all want to do.
That's
what I'm saying.
Sending people home. You came over here starting stuff on American soil. Go over where you from and start mess over there. Nah,
they don't want to go back. That's the whole point.
That's their fault. They should, because here's the thing: they come over here on a student visa. You supposed to be getting an education, but you on the campus.
What does the U.S. get out of that, though? That's what I mean. You seem like you're well versed in what you're saying.
Like
why is the U.S. do I want a kid to come over here and get an education?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you why. Because foreign students, they don't get student aid, so they have to pay full price to go to the most of the time they paying full tuition. And you know, a university it's a business. So if all these students, because here's the thing, what people were saying, if we get rid of, because this was an issue, what people were saying, we're not going to be allowing Chinese students to come and go to our American universities. And what people
but they show up with cash.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do, but they were saying that it's going to be it's going to affect the universities negatively because they're not going to be bringing in that revenue. So that to answer your question, it's money. It's money. Okay. Why they want the international students?
So then now I truly agree with Genesis. I believe that it probably should be a probation because we need this bread. But as a parent, if I saw my son in Tiananmen Square or somewhere over there in Russia or whatever, I'm just picking out a name. You need to get in that goddamn bed.
Right.
Go home right now. I seen you on TV.
That actually happened. You remember when they was having the riots at Mondawmin Mall and that lady called him? Hey, man, they whooped his ass on camera.
Get in that goddamn
She got in trouble for that. That lady got in trouble for that. They were saying she was being abusive. I'm like, no, this is a lesson to be learned.
That's okay. That's okay. She's a hood hero.
This ass I bet you will last for about 5 seconds. That one of them cops gonna get you. You're gonna be in that hospital for a couple of weeks.
So at the end of the day, what we're saying is, because I see everybody in the chat. I see a couple of folks in the chat. Draco in the chat. Paul Warner in the chat. Saying what's up to him. That gong's for y'all. But are we saying that if you're a legal citizen and a student, that all you should get is arrested? Because they talk, basically the Trump administration is going against the schools for basically allowing this, which is where I get confused. Because if the school's not sponsoring it and it's just the students are just wilding out, why should the school have to lose federal money because the students don't know how to act? That was kind of why I was the
publicity.
I think
it ruins the reputational risk.
Now I'm not as, to my understanding, in chat, if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. To my understanding, I know some of the universities, I want to say Harvard, they were allowing it. And if you remember, Columbia, not right now, but Columbia before, they had it was Harvard. I think it was Harvard. Harvard had a dean. It was a black lady, and she had said some things that people would say were anti-Semitic or whatever. Like she had said some things, and they ended up having her removed. But it was a whole lot of mess with the woman. Like she had plagiarized.
That was a plagiarizing thing.
Yeah. No, she did. She had plagiarized some things too. Yeah. But to my understanding, I think some of the schools weren't doing enough, I guess, to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So, here's my thing with the federal funding. And I'm gonna ask you this: do you feel like a school that has a $2 billion endowment should get federal funding? Because I don't. If it was a small HBCU, I say, come on, man. But Harvard, I felt like they shouldn't have been getting federal funding from the get-go. You got a $2 billion endowment. I'm just saying.
I don't think any private college should get government bread. If the private college is doing numbers like that, they shouldn't get no government bread.
That's what I'm saying. That a lot of money, because there are some private schools, they may need a little bit of help. Cool, maybe Morehouse, maybe Spelman or whatever, but not no daggone Harvard.
But the thing is that I don't want to drop the ban hammer on protesting, because that's where most protests throughout history have gotten their seeds. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
The things that helped us all out, because college in and of itself is not only education, but it's a birthplace of a lot of ideas. Because a lot of people from different walks of life who are in the same pursuit of education get to sit around and talk to each other, which I'm definitely down with. However, you gotta get your permits. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
You gotta get your shit lined up.
Well, hold on that. Right. Y'all remember watching, well, the young people might not, but I remember watching
Blue's Clues?
No, movies about college life. And it was always passionate at the Ivy League schools. Like, there might be some ex-hippie there that's teaching a class on society or something like that, and said, yeah, back in the 70s, we were right there on the front line protesting, doing what we had to do. Because I went to a HBCU, and it was nothing like that. It was, you're going to get this C+ and get on up out of here. But like the way that they portrayed these schools like this, it was like, you actually have a voice. The professors want to hear what you think in the papers, as opposed to just spitting back, what somebody else did and then citing your sources. Like, so for Harvard or somebody like Kelly was saying to actually justify and say, oh, no, go ahead, protest, tell them what you feel. Like, there's something that should be admired about that, but I think I also agree with her on that. Like, if you are here on a visa,
stay quiet, man. Sit in the back.
Like, why would you?
That's all I'm saying.
It almost makes me think it's somebody else.
Right.
And have you ever worked somewhere and been on probation? You know what I mean?
Some of them are plants, Genesis. No, I can't speak to, because I've been following this mess, y'all. But let me say this, Sonny. I went to Howard University. They protested every day going things. You know? So
every day.
We did the same at Morgan. We protested because they wouldn't let us have women in the dorm, and we got that together.
And y'all protested.
We had some protests. We had some protests in FAMU.
We went to the Dean's house. We knocked on the door with pitchforks. It was Bricks remembers. We went up to this man's house. Like,
no, it was in he lived in the damn dorm with us,
but he had fireplace and his joint was laid out. That was the funny part. We're living in
an asshole,
slums.
Man.
Oh my God.
He was in there with fireplace, a bearskin rug with some leather slippers on, and like the smoking jacket. And we
had a 2000 edition smoking jacket.
We said, oh,
that motherfucker had on leather drawers.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was the leader of that charge. I thought I was going to get arrested for that, but I didn't. And we did get visitation back. So it was a very productive protest. That was what it was.
But they started that shit and they deserved it, yo. Yeah. Come on, man. What is a 10:30 goddamn curfew for grown people?
Right.
Well, I think they
I wanted 50-cent cakes.
Because, like, as soon as we graduate, they're like, okay, well, you going out to change the world. Like, that's the whole premise of like graduating and becoming an adult. So then they get here and they cut up. Because I remember going to a PWI and like immediately it was all of a sudden like, okay, we're gonna just go out here, we're gonna protest for everything and we're gonna change the world. And that's why they end up doing dumb stuff like this, because it's just like a group of people, and then there's also plants and people that are trying to rile them up and get people.
That's what I was going to say. There are plants.
Yep.
There are plants.
Right. That'd be the worst.
I can't speak on the university ones, but it has been confirmed that there were certain people that was inciting.
They was putting out them pallets full of bricks.
Yes,
that was crazy.
Yes.
Yo, Hayes, remember that show that we did and we were just trying to figure out what the protest was about? It was just all unfocused and everybody had different signs. And that's a problem that I have. People are just addicted to protesting now and they're not even getting their messaging together. That's what's pissing me
activism.
Well, there was a question.
What did Genesis say?
She said the American
way is activism.
Yeah, we're a country of rebellion.
That's the whole reason we got here.
Yeah, it was rebellion from the British. So that's how the whole thing started, was rebellion.
Yeah, but the thing is that there's a whole lot of slacktivism though. Like a whole lot of people just half know what's going on or just hit likes on posts and said I did my part.
Yeah, you know why we whooping this
post a black square.
Right.
Well, I got there was a question in the chat.
I got a Ukraine emoji.
And I wanted to have you guys give me a brief rundown. But somebody was saying foreign students have the same, and this is Anthony79 in the chat. Thank you for stopping in. Foreign students have the same constitutional rights as American. So where do we cross the line? don't we have all have the same right to protest? Now, me personally, I would say the citizens have certain rights, and if you're not a citizen, you don't have all them rights. And what's the point?
There it is.
You know, you got some rights, but you don't get the whole thing until you're the citizen.
That's not actually constitutionally sound.
Man, that sounds like
they're not actual citizens. That's the thing. The students' visas, they're not American citizens.
The Constitution does state that, legal or not, due process.
But what processes really do? You see what I'm saying?
And they at least got to ask some questions.
Well, the process is that that's why they get deported, because they're not an American citizen. Even technically non-citizens.
But if you're here on a visa,
you have right to due process. You have right to due process.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's the argument. What is the process do, and how does it differ from the American citizen? Because everybody's saying, look, you're on a student visa. You shouldn't be protesting and holding up buildings and stopping highways. So if you say, all right, that's a provision of your visa, don't be protesting stuff. And if you do,
that's based on your feelings.
I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. Really, the process of being deported is a sentence that's executed by the state. You have to be sentenced that punishment. And you have to go to the judiciary to receive that punishment. That is what due process is. Because if they see you protesting, they black bag you, and all of a sudden you're in Palestine in 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's not due process.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's not due process.
Why that process is due. That's my question.
Because what if the arrest was overzealous? What if that person that was arrested?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Standing.
Yeah, there has to be an investigation.
I get what you're saying.
Yes, there has to be something.
That's what I meant when I said there has to be some questions, bro.
Yeah, at minimum. But I don't think it should be a long, drawn out process. I think it should be pretty straightforward.
Not 6 months. I'm saying like 72 hours, but not 6 months.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, because like I said,
and their family should know where they are. And their family should know where they are because they're slick, because they move them halfway across the country before they ship them out.
That motherfucking 5-year-old that was driving that car need to be deported ASAP. Right now,
he got a job at Domino's delivering pizzas, man. Don't stop his hustle, man.
The debate seems to be about whether or not it's constitutional to abridge or kind of make the process shorter.
The Constitution don't apply to them.
Okay. The Constitution doesn't really say anything about time limit. It just says legally,
but you can come up with whatever process you want, and that's what's due. It could be you got 48 hours. We're gonna put you in front of a commissioner or whoever, and if they make a choice, you gotta go. You gotta go. Like that could be part.
But that's
of
the thing.
visa.
That's not happening. They're not being put in front of anybody except the person that's shipping them out. They're not being put in front of
That's my point.
Right.
And that's why, okay, so
sayonara.
So
right,
Donald Trump had said something a while ago, and it was kind of, this is before he became president again, and it shocked me because I was like, well, hey, wait a minute. But he said, everybody's up in arms because, like, an American might get deported by accident. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, yes. What if that was me? I don't speak Spanish, nigga. I'm over here in El Salvador.
They're not deporting American citizens.
For you though, Bricks.
No, you might deporting American citizens.
That's what you say. But I actually have a story that discounts that, because the thing is that yes, it is possible that Americans can be deported. The reason why is because I am first generation American, right? And I have an elder female relative who has been here for 50 years, naturalized and everything,
right?
A Social Security card, all that stuff. She now didn't need any money from the state ever, right? But they're making her take her Social Security benefits, right? Because they're sitting there and they're waiting for her. So she went to go apply for them. They're like, where's your Social Security card? She's like, I haven't seen that in like 30 years, right? So she's like, go apply for one, right? She goes online with the process, says, okay, here's my name, my number, my Social Security number, place of birth, where my family's from, Jamaica. All of a sudden, form shuts down, come into the office. How are we
Okay.
supposed to
But
feel
you see,
about
that's
that? How are we supposed to
but
feel
I
about
can't
that?
say that that's the
I mean,
standard,
she was,
though.
yeah. I mean, she just got to show her papers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, just with everything that's going on and with looking at the whole construct of what's happening and this turbojet of sending people away from the country, without due process, that's something you got to be worried about now. When you never had to worry about it before.
Yeah, I can understand her apprehension, but this is how I look at it. We got to be mad at the fact that, what was it, 20 million illegals came over. You know, this is how I look at it. I mean, there were some illegals here that probably never bothered anybody, you know, didn't do anything. I would even say most of them. But then when they open the floodgates and these jokers, trend agua, they making it bad for everybody. You know,
the numbers didn't trend up since Trump.
I got a question.
Till today, the numbers haven't trended up.
Y'all remember that?
It's
Y'all remember the Carter?
range.
Y'all remember the Carter from New Jack City? Them damn MS-13s pulled a Carter. Was it in Colorado? Is that where it was?
Oh yeah. It was Colorado.
So now that ICE is
that
doing
was Trend Agua. That was Trend Agua. But yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah, it's still a gang.
Okay.
Yeah, Trend Agua was the Venezuelan gang.
I was about to say, I ain't never heard of Trend Agua America.
Yeah,
I done been some places.
Is that like
New York?
But
my Chicago, New York, and then he went to Colorado. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But my thing is this: they have deported mothers, fathers, children. But my question is this: did they ever go to that goddamn building and get the real gang? Or are they still running the show over there?
Oh no, they did. They did deport. They did deport a lot of the Trend Agua. They did.
I'm talking about
in that building.
In that building where they took the building over and are holding the damn
apartment complex.
I think they did that.
Yeah,
I thought they did
it. They did that.
Oh, they did do it.
Okay,
Okay,
they got to that.
I never heard any
fruit. That was low hanging fruit. They wouldn't got that early. And so, I mean, like I said,
at least they got that.
I'm all for protest. I just the people are saying that we shouldn't be arresting folks for protesting, and that's where I guess the back and forth has started is should we or should we not, and should those people, if they're on a student visa or something, be expelled and sent back to their native country?
Are we protesting or are we trespassing? Like that's really the fine line.
And
there.
is trespassing a charge that you should be sent back for? Is what I'm saying. That's
absolutely. Because why are we going into people's classes? Like that's a little outrageous.
Yeah, because they pay their money too.
In a country where we have an issue with attacks, you know, mass essings, you know what I'm saying? Like we get training on that now as kids. Like that's a mess. So we're already just on guard. We got anxiety. It's too much going on. We got too many mental health issues for y'all to be barging up in somebody's class and I'm trying to learn. Like it's just too much happening. Because if I did that, immediately I'd be arrested. So,
exactly.
Yeah, y'all gotta go. Like you're doing too much.
But
came here
that's been the point.
Dream.
Yeah.
You did not come here to do all that. You might want to do that once you get your paperwork.
That's been my whole point from the start. Like when you first asked, hey, I was like, did they commit the crime? Like, did they have passes for this? Did they have the right to congregate here?
Right.
If they broke the law, then they broke the law. And however the law is enforced upon you, you know what I'm saying? You can act all dramatic as if you want, or you could just walk right to that paddy wagon and be like, are there snacks inside? You know what I mean? It's like you could, it's your choice how you roll with the punishments, but don't act surprised if you broke the law.
I didn't even know you had to have a permit to go We Shall Overcome, yeah.
My school did.
I think you don't necessarily need to if you're on like public property. But if you're going in certain places,
on a
private property, federal grounds,
man, you got to talk to somebody. Can't just walk up.
Or it could be just the regular civil disobedience type of stuff, like like the lunch counters and other impromptu
seem very
marches.
Peaceful either, because I think it's like if it's very peaceful, you're
that's
just out there with the little signs, like nobody can care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm trying to get a TV, man. I be waiting for niggas to start protesting shit. I'm right there in the heat of that shit. Like, what's up with that flat screen?
Man.
Yeah, just because pro tip, just because the lights are off.
But you know what?
Just because,
but I got the type of luck, man. I be ready to protest and start screaming in the street, and don't nobody join in, yo. Like I'll just be yelling, then it just fade out in like 30 seconds. Fuck George Soros, man.
Right.
Then the cars just drive by.
Here,
Keep it down over there.
Oh, that guy's the worst. Oh, don't you-
oh, brother, this guy's.
Yes.
Well, guys, we got 2 more that we got to cover today. All right.
Yeah.
Now,
We're ready.
I know you guys have been doing a great job. Thank you very much for.
I appreciate
for
it. I'm
making
doing
this
the
panel-
best that I can do, yo.
Yeah, you make this panel
Thanks,
do
bro.
what it does. You really have.
Yo, why Genesis hit us with the last word and just like summarize the whole damn thing up and they got quiet? Don't be shutting the whole
can't
damn
get quiet
thing
with
down,
you.
yo. You won, yo.
Mm.
You won that, yo.
Well,
And with
can
that
I
slick
get
ass
this,
microphone.
Can I
Yeah,
find
that's
it?
cool.
I
Yeah,
gotta
that shit
find
look
the
like
clip.
Fraggle Rock, yo.
I brought it out for my dad today. Okay,
Yo, your
y'all, 'cause
mic
I
look
don't
like
be
a
doing all
warm
this.
hug.
Well, you know, she definitely. You guys, I really appreciate you making sure your audio was nice and tight for the
Hell yeah.
for the podcast.
I had
It
to
makes
come
it sound
correct.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
we coming up
Yep.
and doing big things. All right, so I have to show this on a smaller screen because I can't find the original post. It's one of these weird things with Instagram. When I got the links, it always comes up in this like half screen and it doesn't maximize for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go over it. So basically, there's a black
Are you having
pastor.
problems with maximizing?
Okay, we got a pastor. See?
Keep it clean.
Yeah, let's keep it clean.
Hey,
We got a
I'm
black
here to help.
pastor who
Blue Diamond Phillips.
was responding to our a recent black person getting killed by the police, and he basically said that we need to stop blaming white police for black people being.
I saw this.
Yeah. So I had to,
Lord.
there's a large outcry of opinions on both sides. I want to listen to what the guy got to say real quick, and we're just gonna have about 5 minutes on it. Okay, just bear with me a second. Thank you. Hold on. Bang. Yeah, for some reason I can't get it to come up as a full screen. I don't know, but y'all get the point. It's right here. So
All
this
right,
guy's
let's
gonna
go.
talk, and we're gonna see what he's talking about. All right?
Black kids.
Uh-oh.
Instead, teach your black children to be obedient towards authority.
Okay.
And I don't care if most of y'all are black. You need to teach your children to obey authority. We need to teach our sons and daughters to obey authority. We need to teach our children to not fight against authority, not fight against cops, not rebel. Be model citizens. Stop being rebellious towards authority.
It's going too far.
Be submitted to laws and ordinances. Stop parking in handicapped spaces unless you want a reason to park there.
That was personal.
That sounds like a personal grievance.
Yeah. He said, unless you want a reason to park there, like he's gonna beat you up if you park in handicapped
Of course, it's
parking.
Atlanta.
Sounds violent.
He seems
sounds
mad.
violent.
I went to the rigmarole to get my own handicap placard. I earned this spot.
Right.
I'm guilty of it, but it's only when I'm driving my parents around because they got them. So I'll park in that joint.
I
you know?
There you
agree.
go.
I agree with the whole
I don't like how he's saying.
don't put on your end suit when the police come around. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Like the best bet probably just be quiet, lawyer up. I get that part. But he's also giving Uncle Ruckus vibes, yo.
Yo,
Hey,
he's giving Sam Jackson and Django
Well,
vibes. yo.
the chat,
Yeah.
This is
the
a
chat
personal
so far-
discrepancy. Somebody in his family is locked up.
Yeah, the chat so far seems to think, he's right to a point because he does have a point. But there is a
He's
certain
not wrong.
point.
I don't like the way he's saying
It's
it.
just the
I don't
way
When
like the way
Master
he's
come
saying it.
around here,
You better tighten up.
Well,
you go stuffing your chest out, boy.
When
for
he
me,
leave,
what
I'll be talking again.
Right.
Ooh,
What I didn't
is
like
that
about
nigga
it-
on that nag.
Right.
Come
Go ahead,
on,
go ahead though.
bring it in.
Sorry.
So for me, what I didn't like about it was, and I will say this, he came out and he did apologize. He because he got a lot of backlash. For one,
Good.
he's addressing the Black community. I felt the way because, sir, you're a pastor. There is no Black church. There is no white church. There's one church, and that's the Church of Jesus Christ. You're a follower of Christ.
Right.
So I felt a way about him, specifically targeting the Black community. Number two, actually, it's more white people that die from the police, but you're still addressing
Right.
the Black community.
There's
Number
more
three,
white people.
yeah, no, it is.
It's
It is.
numbers. Right.
Yes, it is. But I'm just saying, like, you're directing the Black community as if white people are the ones listening to the police and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just address
Right.
Americans. Why are you? Yeah, just address the community. Why are you? You're specifically talking to Black people. I kind of felt a little bit of way about that. And this is my thing. Okay, you're kind of, the way you're talking, you're putting it on the person that is being arrested, or the Black person. Well, we saw Philando Castile. He was complying and he still died. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were Black Americans that were not Black Americans, just Black people in general that did die. And they were complying. So,
oh boy was complying with the knee on his neck. He complied to death.
Yeah, so it's a lot. So I just felt, and I will say, he did come out and apologize, and I think that was the right thing to do. But
he
for me, it was giving
because
Uncle
he got backlash. If nobody had backlash, he wouldn't have apologized.
Can I play devil's advocate?
I think you're right, Purge.
Can I play devil's advocate though, Kelly? Are we not supposed to? Because I like what you said. I ain't even going front, but are we not supposed to mentor our young Black children?
Well, we are.
I think we should. We should. Yeah.
Because, and I only asked you that because you said it's the Church of Jesus Christ. So by him using the term Black, he's saying, okay, I'm speaking to Black people. And the reason why I say that is because you are correct. The white folks do be the ones puffing up with the police officers.
I've seen that more.
I have seen it more. I have.
Typically know.
I have my rights, God damn it.
That's what I'm saying.
We've all seen the set. Like,
usually we are the ones complying because we know
I didn't know I couldn't do
which way to go.
Now, I think that might be a perspective issue. I am always compliant because whenever the police come up to my car, I put the window down and I give them my damn ID and I say, "You got me, motherfucker," and they normally start laughing.
Right.
But I grew up around people that have never been compliant, where I'm in the passenger seat or I'm in the driver's seat saying, "Shut the fuck up and let me handle this, please. Please be quiet, good sir."
This could be a good night or a bad night.
Or a bad night. Just at ease, nigga. Like, so from my perspective, while I respect yours, from my perspective, my brothers and sisters don't normally be compliant. I am not speaking for all of my brothers and sisters.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
But I do instruct my children because I feel, and I know this is gonna come across, but I feel anxiety when them red and blue lights go off. And I tell my children,
berries show up. Hell yeah.
My dad does too.
I tell my children, I say, yo, when them people come up to that car, don't over answer. Be polite. Maintain your bearing. Give them what they're asking for. Keep your hands on the wheel. And because it could be
to add on to your point,
going home or not.
Well, Sonny, what percentage would you think of people that are pulled over by the police that are Black people, or look back, whatever you want to call it, what percentage would you think do comply? I would say 90.
It could be because social media is definitely 3%. But if I were to give you a percentage based off of my perspective and what I've seen in my life, like as far as firsthand situations, it'd be like me and Bravo, Hayes. Like I don't know too many. Our friends, like I got one of my best friends from Newark, New Jersey. He ain't calm. Okay. He always got us like they trying to escalate it on both sides. It's always a snide.
Let me add this real quick. So Kelly, you are right. It is more white people by the numbers that are usually acting up and getting pulled over or murdered by cops. That is a bigger number for them. But it is a larger number for our community proportionately. You know what I mean? The number of Black people that are getting sent up. Per capita up, like all Black people. Yeah. So, and we already know the numbers are there, that the the exaggerated sentences are more likely to land upon people of melanated
facts,
right?
facts,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Yeah,
So I get what he's saying, but he gave off a real house nigga vibe with
He
it. And I
really
did not
did.
like
Bravo,
it.
we on the same page. We on the same page. I agree. I agree.
So the question would be, how would he tweak this message so that instead of apologizing for the message, he's able to say it without getting all that backlash? Like,
he wouldn't.
Just don't say black. Just don't say the word black.
Their job is to be controversial. If it's not a controversial topic, they wouldn't really have an audience. I grew up in PG County. My mega church was ran by 2 white people, and it was an all black congregation, and we were constantly talking about black issues because that was the market. So at the end of the day, the church is a business, and they have a clientele, to appease to. It's that same way he ended up on Instagram, and now he's viral. And I'm sure the people that agree with him are now going to that church. So there's an underlying issue here, which is really nothing to do with this entire conversation. But what I do have to say, I do agree with Sonny that from what I've experienced personally, a lot of my friends are not compliant. Now, I have something that's called pretty privilege. If I'm with a male friend and he happens to get pulled over, I end up being the one talking because he don't know how to speak or he don't know how to submit to authority. In Christianity,
let me handle
in general,
this.
we always talk about, submission, and that's like a main theme in like believing in God is submission in general. So I think he might have actually been just trying to come up with something that nowadays in 2025 we deal with on a constant basis and relate it to dealing with authority, because people don't even respect the authority in the church. So it sounded like a personal problem to me.
I like
Look, I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all.
As far as that speaks to a bigger issue.
What he said though, because I didn't really, honestly, in my opinion,
do we need to hear more shucking and jiving?
I don't know if we really need to hear more.
Hold it though. And when Pastor start talking, make sure you don't make eye.
Don't look them directly in the
might
eye.
have some white cops that are friends though. Like he might just be talking to talk.
But
he definitely has white cops that are friends. He runs a mega church.
Yeah, they probably the main donations.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
Stop fucking with them police.
So
the only nation I support is donation.
So let's be honest though. There is a need for additional education when it comes to police interaction for those people that we're talking about that don't know how to act when the police pull up. And there are
you just said it. You just said it just now. You said people that don't know how to act. Like there is a way to act. I think that there is, and I look at it like this: and I'm not saying the police are my parents, but I do understand authority when it comes to my parents. So when my mom comes up and she says, why did you do this, something like that, I'm not trying to punk my mom
but the police aren't your mother either.
No,
so
but the nigga got a gun. So let's say if the police didn't show up and the motherfucker got a gun on you, like, are you disrespecting the nigga with the gun?
No, but I'm just saying, you made the initial reference of your mother, which is totally different. My mom ain't gotta have a gun and I'm gonna be in submission.
Exactly, but I use my mom as an example of just the term authority, and we could take it.
That's
back
also
to
what he said.
We could take it back to what Genesis was talking about, because God gave us judges, meaning judicial. Like that, and there's a whole book of Judges that explains that.
Right.
There is a legal system. God put that in place for a reason. Now, I'm not saying that these people aren't crooked, but there is a reason why you have judges, so that if you need the help, you can get a lawyer and actually fight your case in front of judges. The police are just the guys to get you there. But if you just shut the fuck up, be respectful, you might let them play themselves, because they always overtalk anyway.
True.
Right. And it's not an automatic switch, because I got pulled over because I was way over the speed limit. But I got pulled over. You know what I mean? And I had all my shit ready, because I always have my little pinch. I have my registration, my ID, all that stuff waiting in my fingers with the windows rolled down, waiting for him, hands 10 and 2. Ready, right?
My hands is always crossed over the wheel, yo. Just like
ready to be locked up.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I'm over there and I'm being polite as possible. I'm just like, hey, he's like, oh, you ready? I'm like, yeah, man, I ain't want to give you no reason to shoot me. He's like, yeah, don't give me no reason. I was like, what? He didn't have to rub it in, bro.
He didn't have
you know
to
what I
do
mean?
that.
And so, but the whole thing is that I kept going. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up, but that's kind of funny though. I just kept it positive and easy in the interaction, because look, he has the gun. Anything I do can be considered illegal. So let me just keep it cool while keeping my own self-respect. But I did let him know that I didn't like that word, but I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of fucked up. Okay, here you go. You know what I mean? I gave him my shit. And I just,
see, that's my whole point is you're giving us an example of it could have gone one way, but you didn't take it there. And I believe what this pastor is saying is there is a need for some additional mentorship because there is a group of people that will respond like you did. And there's a whole nother group of people that don't respond like that. And then there's where the problem happens. So it's like, how do we differentiate? Because it's not just the black community as a whole. I would venture to say it's the Negroids, and they're a different type of breed. And so how do we get that breed to understand that, we're not trying to hurt you, we're trying to help you by saying, because they be like, man, I ain't doing that, man. White cop ain't pull me over, man. I don't care who it is. And so you end up arguing with them over just trying to help them survive an incident.
We need to remind them, first and foremost, that there are no women in the prisons you're getting ready to go to, bro.
Not anymore.
Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, have you ever taken a shit making eye contact with another man?
Oh my God. Yo, I'm not trying to go up the road and I'm not trying to go in the ground, yo. But see, you know what? This is that cultural thing. Mm-hmm. So if you grow up, let's say you grow up in the wild, right? And I'm saying like one of the worst hoods, you grow up in the wild, everything is a test of your manhood all day long. So when the police pull up and they start talking real greasy, you dealing with people in the hood right now, they got burners on them too. So like, I know a lot of people that when someone pull out a gun, what you gonna do? And so when the police roll up talking real greasy, they feeling like it's the same situation. Like you ain't just gonna talk to me any old type of way.
And honestly, we looking at the problem on the wrong side. We looking at the problem from the wrong side. Like I was telling Bricks today. We was talking when he was driving home. I was like, we're putting the money in the wrong place. Like we really should be paying cops high numbers. So it's a competitive job. So Rudy Pook motherfuckers can't get them. Because you know what I mean? So it's competitive to get those jobs. We should pay cops.
You want to behave so you don't lose that salary.
Right. Yeah. And they'd be scared to lose the salary. And the same thing for fire folks, teachers, paramedics, EMTs, all the people who actually their job is to help society. We should pay them more. There is no reason somebody who kicks a ball around makes 5 times more than a cop.
The only problem that I have with that, honestly, is that normally whenever you put firearms in the hands of men, they normally tend to become a fraternal order. And that's why they have like the CID or the internal affairs, because they start having each other's back, doing dirty stuff. And if you start paying them a lot of money, the fact that let's say a cop was making $200,000 a year and the chief might be making like $300,000, bro. Now they not only acting the same way, but now they snobby about it. Like now they got the money to make shit disappear.
The thing is like at least if it's that much investment into that community, into the cops and all that, then there would have to be some checks and balances that will be done because we're doing the finances in that way. I do agree with you. We don't need to be able to have a cop that got arrested for unnecessarily handling people or touching female suspects in a wrong way, getting booted off the force, and then getting a job in the next county the next week. Right. There has to be a database. There has to be a database.
Well, there is a database. They just don't.
I thought they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Didn't they get rid of the federal database?
I think. Didn't Trump just make something like that happen?
Yeah, he got rid of that about
recently.
2 or 3
I think so. I think I heard something about that.
I heard
that was ridiculous.
This is all I'm saying, man. Like the people who do things for us, we should pay them right, and then the shit was.
Yeah, but that doesn't change. It's not a magic pill. That's what I'm saying. Is like if we address good officer conduct, that's one piece of it. But we don't even handle conflict with each other correctly, let alone a police officer that now, oh man, he didn't pull me. Now you already upset, and this person looks like every bad news narrative you've ever seen. So
the problem with us is deeper than just saying be respectful. The problem with us is that we don't have the resources. Most people don't have the resources nor the drive to think they can succeed to achieve for better. And so they just have a fatalist attitude in the first fucking place, which is why they ready to die.
But that's what I'm saying. So before we start worrying about you know, like a person who's a thugged out dude is not going to change up for the police. Like just because the police there, they don't care. If they pack in, they shooting. That's how they
did, though. Yeah, the police roll up and they said,
"Hey, officer."
Yes, officer. How may I be upset?
So
I would like to address the headline because the headline here is "Stop blaming white cops for the killing of black kids." And I think it was Kelly earlier that said there's been multiple instances where that has happened. So it's like, how can we stop blaming them? And if you look at the actual like context of what he's saying, as far as like black parents should teach their kids how to obey authority, I completely agree with that because I have ran into many rascals in my life who do not know how to obey authority at all.
You're right.
Especially in this time period.
And
so
what
what happens is I think that there is a generational anger that has been passed down. And it's like, well, them crooked cops and they listen, my parents wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying? But like some people's parents, I've met them and they're just angry. They've been angry. Slavery wasn't that long ago. Segregation wasn't that long ago. I understand. Like a lot of us
it's easy to blame somebody else for your failures though.
Exactly. So
see, now we're gonna get in trouble.
White cops, you could say, you know, how about let's obey authority? Like how about let's, you know, teach our children. Like Kelly said, it shouldn't have been black and white. It goes both ways.
Right.
I've seen the frat boys out here cutting up and doing whatever they got to do.
And so that's what I was saying is the real issue is how we deal with conflict resolution and adversity. If instead of crashing out and lashing out, if we had better responses to things, it wouldn't be as soon as the police walk up to your car or they're being assholes, you know, you're biting right back. Like Bravo said, he could have come back and been like, man, you know, he could have gone that route. Right. But instead, he chose to take the high road, survive the encounter, and move on with life. But how do we teach people to do that?
It's hard because
you can go home or you can go down.
They don't do it with each other. So how can I teach? Like me and Bricks and Bravo, we've been friends for years. We've had our ups and downs and stuff like that. But we've never come to like trying to shoot at each other, nothing like that, because whatever issue just did not require that. So we've always been able to mitigate conflict that way. So there's a group of people that don't know how to do that. So that's why they're always fighting. They see the police, they fight the police. They see their family member, they ain't seen it. Hey, they fighting them for something that happened 10 years ago.
How you see police officers unalive your man, and the next time you get pulled over, you trying to go hard as he went?
Because they don't value their own life.
See, this is because they didn't have the commercials
earlier.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, they don't value
didn't
their own
have
life.
the commercials that we had. Like, this is your brain on drugs. I saw that shit. I was like, well, I ain't doing that drug.
I'm not arguing with nobody that got a gun and I don't have a gun. That's just crazy.
Whoever told you to bring a fork to a gunfight?
It's a good point. It's a good point. Well, I think that this will open up a broader conversation because I see what the guy was trying to say, but he wasn't talking to everybody. There's a certain, like we said, there's different people that respond differently. I'm not saying you got to bow down and start licking boots on the side of the road when you get pulled over, but there is a way to start to like not, or try your best to not escalate these situations. And the escalation ends with the guy with the gun normally killing you. So it's kind of like if you understand that's really what will be the end. If it goes too far, that's what that person's going to do. That's why they got the weapon on them. Is if they feel a certain threat, they are allowed to just take your life. That's the end of that. Threat over. So if we can teach people that,
do you think it's unrelated?
It's not.
Do you think it's unrelated that? No. Do you think it's unrelated that the way we grew up and the way that the escalation of young Black folks being targeted or whatever, being untowardly interacted with, whether it be death or incarceration or just roughhousing. Do you think that music might have a part of it? Because when we grew up, we still had a 50-50 balance of R&B and hip hop, right?
Yeah,
but now it's just now that hip hop has been corporatized and then it's messaging in those things. Like you're not hearing Black Thought hit the top 10. You're not hearing what was that dude, the freestyle dude, like Keymaster, Locksmith. You're not hearing Locksmith in the top 10. You're not hearing Childish Gambino in the top 10 for anything major. You got him for This Is America.
I will tell you, I do believe there is a correlation. And I'm gonna tell you why I believe there's a correlation.
Okay.
The same people that own those prisons are the same people that on these labels. And it's a
That's what
reason
I wanna
why
say.
certain music, yes, there's a reason why certain music is being pushed, and there's a certain music why there's certain reasons why other music is not being pushed. Now, am I going to say that we haven't so much more violence because of music? I don't know, but I know there is an agenda of people. There's an agenda that is pushing that's what they want.
Right.
And I think they're successful.
I think they achieved their goal. I think they achieved their
life
goal.
insurance policies on you now.
They definitely take
Right.
life insurance policies. Mm-hmm.
What was that, Jen? What was that, Jen?
I said, why do you think all the London rappers are coming over here with all that mess? Because they don't tolerate that over there. Like I literally
that
one of my
London
friends
drill.
in town doing like performances out here singing crash out music. And I told him about himself the other day. I said, why are you singing crash out music? You're literally from Great Britain. Like what's going on? That's how they
Beat a shot with a pop pop with a shot with a shot with a pop
like,
pop.
what's going on? Like
Yeah, it is, you know, it is mad crazy. It is mad crazy that, you know, that's being allowed to be done over here.
Yo, we fucking do this, fam. We really fucking do this.
And I really think that they had mission accomplished. I really think they have mission accomplished because they're moving on the country now. They got the blacks where they want them. Now they're gonna move over to poor white folks. Look what's happening. Cowboy Carter is the canary in the coal mine.
Oh yeah.
Shabuzi is the canary in the coal mine. Look what's happening. Post Malone, canary in the coal mine. Look, they're shifting over to that side. They're gonna attack these poor white people now. Watch.
They'll leave us alone.
It'll be fun.
That's why they're out there protesting.
I'm trying to move this food, bro.
We in the house. I went to brunch the other day. It was a bunch of caucasity outside. I'm like,
where'd
what
you
are
go to
y'all
brunch,
protesting?
girl?
I went to Olio et Pied, but it was a bunch of caucasity outside.
Did you just switch up
protesting the
accents?
administration.
Did you switch up accents in
It
mid
was supposed to be Italian, but it wasn't at the same time. But
Oh, okay. What was it called? Pepe Le Pew? That you ate
that's
at?
what I thought.
Olio et Pied.
That sounds like a 48 olive
Armpit. Oily armpit. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to get the Le Ardente. I'm not hip to that spot.
Oh, that lasagna? Yeah, y'all gotta try that 40-layer lasagna at Le Ardente.
40 layers.
40 layers. I'm already
Yeah.
225 pounds.
40
No,
layers.
That sounds like a nap.
Yeah. It sounds like my diabetes is gonna be a problem.
Like, you ever had a McDonald's big breakfast, show? You're gonna be asleep for 8 years after when it was gone.
Right.
All right, well, guys, we got our last story to cover, then we got to get out of here.
Why that
Sorry,
Joker
we went a
look
little
like
bit long,
Seal, yo? My bad.
But I got to give quick shouts to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for stopping in. Special shouts to Draco with the super chat, and really appreciated that. And
Like Seal.
and Paul Warner stopping in the chat. We got a few people in here, so. The algorithm's been a little mean to us lately, Kelly and Genesis. I know this is you guys' first time on the podcast, but because you guys are here, I guess it's starting to push some people in this direction. They saw a pretty face, and they said, oh, okay, well, what's this going on over here? It's pretty privilege. I'm using it, you know, not in a bad way.
Yes.
It's the only reason why I'm on this show, Nick.
Right.
You the pretty face, Brett.
I'm just saying. You said Jen and Kelly gonna be on the show. I was like, oh, I'm gonna put on pants tonight.
Yeah, I was watching Kelly channel today, yo. I watched the episode you did on Nina Simone.
Yes, that was.
You really don't like. You don't like Harris at all, huh?
I don't like that. No, I don't like that lady. I don't.
How did Nina Simone turn into a Harris conversation?
Right.
Well,
Go ahead. No, you tell the story. No, I want you to tell because I barely remember.
Because I learned this from watching your show. Basically, Kamala was the one that was. I think she was litigating against because they had a documentary on Nina Simone, right? And this is what you were saying. And so before the documentary comes out, they go through and make sure that her niece, I believe, who had the estate, that they charged her $6 million or something. So they couldn't afford it. So basically the documentary comes out, none of the family gets to eat off of the documentary. They made sure they took everything from them before the documentary. So
it screwed the family over.
But this is the question.
They lost the estate.
Right. So what I wanted to ask you, but we obviously weren't on the phone, was she being paid to do that, or was she leading the charge? Like, it's one thing if somebody hires you.
Is she the DA? She can't be.
No, she was. I think she was the DA. She wasn't being paid to railroad. When I say being paid, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, I think certain powers wanted to get that estate. Okay. And I think in her position was made it difficult for the people to fight it. So they to pay the taxes.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is, what I will say is the way that you made the video, the way y'all painted it was the guy narrating and what you were playing on the screen, and then what
the family didn't have the money. Let me be clear. The family did not have
the money.
They didn't have the money.
The way that you made the video, it kind of made it seem like she was the one with the pitchfork on her own free will and accord.
No.
She was a tool of a bigger system.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. No, she was.
So that was just a
job.
bullet in your bullet in your clip for not liking her. Okay, I
don't like that.
I can't. Look. Like I support the DAs when they're doing their right job. I support the military when they're doing the right job. Anybody goes off the reservation, I don't rock with them. But she was just doing a job, and I can't be mad at her for that.
I feel you.
Huh?
I feel you.
All right. Well,
but then again, it does kind of suck to be like I told y'all earlier when we were looking at the picture of the protest, those police officers whose pictures will be shown 50 to 60 years from now, they'll be looking at her saying, you led the charge on getting Nina Simone's family to not have.
Yeah, how bad would it suck to have a "This You" picture on your gravestone?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it really sucks.
I was like, is this a picture of you punching the old lady in the face?
Oh man.
All right, well, guys,
but I haven't been doing so much politics. I'm pivoting away. Certain politics I'll cover, but I'm not doing so much of that anymore. I'm more into reaction videos.
You gonna throw off your
more lighthearted. Well, I've gotten more people from doing kind of like my panel, reactions, my panel show and stuff like that. So, and it's been going good. So some of the politics I'll just, when I go live, I'll throw some stories in that way. But I'm not doing a complete shift.
I told people in my real life, I said I don't talk politics for free no more.
Facts.
Smart, yeah.
Well, you know, why
did I say facts? I always talk that shit for free. I need to take on your mantra, man.
Nah, because I'm just gonna be frustrated. Because unless somebody got something to lose or gonna give me some cash, they're not gonna come with no honesty. If they could just tell me some bullshit, they ain't really talking no facts with me.
My bad, Hayes. Please continue, sir.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I like the conversation.
It is your show.
I appreciate the conversation. So we're gonna get into our last piece here because we only got about 15 minutes left before I got to get out of here.
She said.
But we're gonna cover a couple of minutes of a conversation that was sent to me. It was a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but you guys remember Cree Summers from?
Hell yeah!
Freddie. Yeah,
are we talking about the motorcycle and the big dick conversation?
No, we're not talking about it. What conversation are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You ain't watched a different world?
You ain't see when
I
she
even
had
born into the different world yet?
No, but I watch Bonanza now. Like I watch old shows. Did you ever see the Rugrats?
Bonanza, yeah.
You ever see Rugrats?
Of course I seen Rugrats because
he was one of the voices on Rugrats.
Oh, okay.
Do you know she was the voice of Penny on Inspector Gadget?
Yes, I do.
I didn't know that.
That's crazy. That's
crazy.
That's
really what she made her money off of was the voice.
Cree Summers is the voice of Donald Trump, yo.
The voice of that. No shit.
Nah, I'm
She's
lying.
The voice of a new generation.
So what did she do?
So basically, thank you for bringing us back onto this topic.
Yeah, she just reeled us in,
Yeah, like, come on, man. So nonetheless, she got onto a podcast with this lady named Shan and was talking about like her being an old person now versus the young, hot Cree Summers that she used to be and how she's dealing with it.
I watched the same thing,
bro.
Yeah, she was cute. She was cute, yo.
All right, so
Kimberly Reese was hot. Whitley was hot.
All right, that's not. No, we're not.
Whitley looked pulled too tight.
Give Cree her time. She said she was hot. So we're gonna say that she was hot.
I like.
She was technically like the ugly friend though on the show.
Freddie.
Like, yeah, Freddie was the ugly friend on the show, but she was cute to
liked
regular
Freddie.
people. But her, like, she was goofy and kind of awkward, but yeah. But later episodes, she kind of came up. But anyway,
I
this
was
is
like,
her.
treat you better than Shaza Zulu, Freddie.
I want to say she's in her late 50s now. She got to be in her late 50s at this point. So
looks like it.
We'll give her 2 minutes to talk. I can't go through this whole interview. It was like an hour long. But somebody said to start around 7:30, 7:45 in the time of it. So let's see what they're talking about.
Now, but it's hard in this town. This is not a place where I have the opportunity. I don't get asked out on a lot of dates. I never get asked out on dates. And I don't know if it's being 55 in Los Angeles.
the shirt.
Or if it's just a strange town, you know?
What does that feel like?
Lonely.
It's a weird
Dry.
juxtaposition.
Itchy.
It's a weird counterintuitive feeling because I actually feel more beautiful now than I have ever felt before.
Whistling cavern.
I feel like I've
Well,
come
that's
into
not
my
true.
face. I've come into my body.
Somebody
I've really
came
come
into
into
you.
my sense of style.
Somebody did.
So it's weird to not
She
be
looked
seen as
vegan.
much. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do become a little more invisible the
She
older
looked
you
like
get
Danger
as a woman,
Mouse.
unfortunately.
It's not to say that it's fantastic to be sexually
To be
harassed.
ogled and sexualized.
Correct,
No, it's
exactly.
not that.
Yeah. But you do notice
But I miss
when
it.
the gaze shifts, and there
yeah.
is a
Oh
mourning
my
that has to
God.
come with that.
Does
Because
she
used to
get a
I mean,
cramp
you can
straddling
walk
the
into a
fence like
Starbucks,
this?
You know, and all the men would be going.
Who's
checking
gonna
them out.
ask you out
And then
wearing
you walk
that
into
shirt?
Starbucks and you're not getting that same hit, you know, and you do kind of go, you know, and then you realize that juice and that feeling that you get from being seen as beautiful, you have to self-generate.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think that there's a relationship between feeling more
so
beautiful,
I've seen this
feeling more
interview.
free, feeling
I've seen
more
this interview.
sexy?
All right, hold on. Let me pause here.
And she says, I want to be in my feminine with the man. You know what I mean? But I also, but then Shan says, but you got to realize, like, sometimes you're gonna come with the masculine energy. She's like, yeah, I ride a motorbike, and sometimes he just has to accept that I'm going to be the big dick. What?
That was in this interview?
She says that.
That
in
must have
this
been why.
interview.
Oh, well, that's why she's single. She's,
Bro,
yeah.
she's single because she looks like Gus off of Breaking Bad. Yeah.
No,
like
you
she's-
didn't see her. You didn't see her on Atlanta. When she was on Atlanta, she was cute.
Really?
She's looking weird here now. Yeah, let me pull it up. Let me send it in the chat. She's looking her normal. She needs a makeover. That's all.
Yeah, but you can't. But
She
you
needs to
can't,
get out of
you
Los
can't say I'm
Angeles.
looking.
That's what it
Exactly.
is.
That's my whole point. She needs to get where real people are,
Like,
and
come on
people
now.
who don't make crazy amounts of money, and people who just are lost touch of reality. She needs to be where real people
Los
are.
Angeles
She claims
is
she
the
wants real
loneliest
people.
place to date. People are
Isn't
just
it,
dating
though?
because they need a place to stay. Like they don't even
Yeah.
date to date. I'm
They're
dead serious.
collaborating. That's what they're
Human
dating is.
trafficking.
They're collaborating.
Los Angeles is one of them places like Colorado. When you get off the plane, you feel like this ain't. The ground is sour here. Like this isn't a positive place.
Yeah, she look cute. She
Let me
look
see.
cute there.
Right.
Is
What
that
did
the
it-
Cree Summer you talking about? This picture? Can y'all see it?
She need to go out the country.
Yes,
She's not
yes.
bad looking.
She got the Pharrell hat, but she looked like she
Yo,
sells
she-
drugs
yo,
on Breaking Bad.
She look like she
She
got an
can go
Erykah
to
Badu startup
Australia
kit in the
and get a
mail.
whole roster. I'll tell y'all right now.
I put it in the
Australia.
chat. I put it in the chat, the tick when she was on Atlanta. She just looks like a weirdo right there. But I do think you're right, Genesis.
She might be
gotta
a
get
weirdo.
out of LA.
But if
Oh,
she go to Australia, I promise you, she normal.
I think she is a little weird,
Definitely,
but she need to get out of
definitely.
there. I think that's what it is.
I
Mhm.
think, I think she just needs to unplug and stop trying to like. She could do her,
Go
if she
to
does, especially if she
Colombia.
does voice work. If she does voice work, she could be anywhere.
I think
You know what
she
I
need
mean?
to get up and go to the Golden Corral for breakfast a couple Saturdays and like put on.
They
a
don't
couple
even
of-
got
Got
that. That's
the
why she got to
skin.
get out of Los Angeles. Like, go to Texas or something. I don't
Yo,
know.
she has,
Need some-
yo,
Oh,
she
man,
has
the chat saying she was
skimmed egg
90.
whites for breakfast.
Bro, her neck, man. She get a turtleneck in ring sizes, man. Like she's too small, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Well,
need to get out of Los Angeles. They too vegan.
That's
I'm telling
right.
you, she
That's
looks
true.
vegan.
That's
She
true.
need to eat something. She's
well,
probably
I mean,
just
she
Right.
doesn't
crazy.
look that bad, guys. She's doing okay. Hold on.
You ever seen a butt that look like it got shoulder
know,
blades?
but it's
Like,
hard in this town.
She need to breathe regular air. Their air is just crazy over there.
Yes, it is.
That demon
You gotta go to
energy.
Roscoe's
Yep.
Chicken and
Lost
Waffles.
Angels.
All right, well, let's,
Yeah.
see, let's give her another 2 minutes
You
of our
need
time.
to lose the show enough outfit with the power band on the arm. All
Yeah,
that got
'cause-
to go.
She
yo.
might as well go to Japan or something with that.
Yeah.
You guys
They'll
are
eat
brutal,
that up.
man.
Like, Adigo.
Go to Baltimore. Like, why? Yeah, like, I'm sending her to fantastic places. Send her to Baltimore, Newark.
Right.
She'll do just fine here.
You look like Mr. T's little
Right.
light skin.
55, she'll do just fine.
Send her
DC.
around people who will tell her, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you gonna eat or not? You know what I mean?
She look like
send her
that
around people who
bougie
do that.
aunt at the reunion right now,
Yo, you know what? She looks like she would do like my aunt did when she came and she was newly vegan. And she came, we didn't see her for like years. She came to Thanksgiving and she was vegan. It was like, oh, does anybody else want a piece of carcass? Talking about the turkey. You know what I mean? That's what she looks like right there.
Hell yeah, I want some of that
That's
carcass.
what she looks like. Yeah, hell yeah. Pass me some of that blood too, that gravy. Give me
You
that
can't
shit.
date in Los Angeles. They come in with $1 and a dream. Like, come on now. We should know this by now. We 55.
Let's be nice to the
Yeah, it's
LAs
thirsty out there.
You and I talking about mothering.
Yeah.
They didn't
And
learn
I
it.
think more
Looking
women
like Cree
that mother
bummers.
with this kind of awareness. I think our daughters could.
All right, so she's talking about being a mother here. Hold on, let me let her get another minute.
She got babies?
Happy
I
Mother's
really
Day.
do.
Yeah, she got babies.
Conversations that our mamas weren't having.
Yes.
Conversations about aging we weren't having with our mamas. You know, I talk to my daughters about aging, about how fucking great it is. You know, I don't want them to be afraid of it.
No, it's a blessing.
It's a
And the only
blessing.
other option is death.
The only other option
That's
is
all.
death.
That's it. That's all I got for you.
That's all
Took
I
a
got.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could be
gosh.
puffed up like a
That's
Michelin man.
right. That's right.
You could be a marshmallow. You could be dead.
Yo,
Or
why
you
is-
could be so
No,
taut
this
that you
seems
can, bang a
false to
corner
me.
off it like
Yeah,
those
she seemed like
beds
a
in the
dud,
barracks
yo.
in the army. Yeah.
Which I don't hate on. I think there's something about that too. You know, like if you have a store for
Don't nobody
want to
make love to
you're gonna wanna
nobody that
refresh
acts and
the
looks
paint.
like that.
I
Right.
see nothing
I don't want to
wrong
go out
with it.
and
It's
hang
when
out
it
with you and we
borders
talk
into the
about
grotesque.
chakras. I'm like, did you
Yeah.
see that last
Yeah, right.
episode of
Man,
Succession?
we can't hear her talking.
You see that shit? That was crazy.
My bad.
You know, because-
Ace.
She looks like a pencil.
She ain't
with the
saying
other
that,
side.
yo.
Yeah, with
Because I
the
don't
fat
even know who this
eraser on it.
lady is. Was she a child actor?
No,
Yeah.
you gotta watch
She
Different
was-
World.
she
She
was
was
the
on that
college-
Wasn't she
sitcom.
Lisa
Yeah.
Simpson or something on the Simpsons? Wasn't she one of the
No,
Simpsons characters?
that's Yeardley Smith is Lisa. But
That she was a child?
No, she
No,
was
she
a
was-
college kid at one point.
she
So
did
she
a
was
lot
a
of voice
child.
acting for cartoons growing up, like Inspector
Because they
Gadget
always
and a
end up
couple other
wonky.
things.
Like, look at Raven Simone. So, like,
Yes.
me personally,
But at least
looking at
Raven
this
is
not
thick.
surprising at all.
No, it's not.
At least
It's
she-
not.
She always been like this, Genesis. She
Oh,
always
okay.
was like
She's
this.
a
Okay.
little weird.
She's
yeah,
no,
Cree
that's what-
Summers was a
that's
little
the-
weird, but
But her
That's why they
parents
wrote the
were also
character for her
hippies,
like
though.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, her
Yes,
parents were
exactly.
hippies.
So let me give her, like I said, I got to give her time to
She's
she's
not
about
interested.
Because you're
to
having
be
the
out
best
of here,
days of
though.
your life.
Yes.
Talk about
I'm
a
only
bunch of
Maybe
focused
those-
on the
the
girl with the pink
Sexual
lips.
energy is not being
I don't like
whipped
that
at you.
lipstick
It's not
color.
being thrown at me.
Yeah, but I like
I'd
the
it to
lip
come at me a
size.
little more.
Well, you're getting it somewhere. Can you give a little
Yes.
insight how you are still inviting sexuality,
I don't know if I
flirtatiousness,
wanna
play,
know.
seductiveness into your
Who's
world?
doing it
Well,
to
I
Cree
mean,
Summers?
like I said, I mean, I'm a lover of clothes, and I definitely feel very sexual in how
Swap
I
me.
express the way I dress, which my daughters would laugh because I oftentimes wear Victorian collars and things, but that to me is very sexual,
Yes.
very sexy.
That's why
I
the
love
big
being
numbers.
covered up. I find there's
Yo,
something
you's
about
a
it.
dud,
Maybe get into the
nigga.
fabrics.
Oh, I can tell you're a freak.
You know, like maybe
Goofy.
She said I could tell you're a freak. Really? With that outfit on? I didn't see it. I didn't see
All
it.
I'm saying, like, you know what? They need to play this. They need to play this in front of every theater kid ever. Be like, don't end up
How do I
here.
get in this?
Yes, how do I get in
She
this?
getting paid.
You know, like where's the
She is a
fucking
weirdo.
opening? Where's the zipper? And
That's what I'm saying. As a personality.
This girl
That's
looks
just
like
her.
she'll pull out the crane technique on you or whoop you and take your wallet straight up.
I'm gonna tell you
But
what,
I've
I
seen
don't-
this style of person like multiple times.
Yeah, and they always smell like
Yeah.
patchouli.
Yeah.
Like, is that you? What is
Yeah,
that?
what is that fucking smell? Like,
Why do the shallowest people talk about mindfulness all the time? Yeah.
Or what's worse is she looks like she's freshly showered, but probably doesn't wear deodorant. Like
Right.
that
Oh no,
clean
she wear that crystal,
musk.
the crystal deodorant.
Ugh.
That wears
Oh, yeah,
out
the
in
salt-
2
the
seconds.
salt
It's-
rock.
As soon as you apply it, it's
Right.
gone.
Mouth
I know what you're
stink.
talking about. I got
Lady to
charcoal.
me.
I got charcoal deodorant. It's charcoal.
I got charcoal deodorant. What scent do I have? Oh, it's dog mouth. That's what I have.
You want to kiss right when you wake up? Like, if you don't get that bacteria, girl, you need to goddamn disinfect. Get the fuck away from me. Not
She
looking
might
like
be
I'm being
asexual.
No, well,
Asexual.
Cree
No, she's
Summer
not.
is
She's not.
she's straight, as they would call it.
Yes.
But the thing is,
She's cisgendered.
She's older now, and she doesn't have anybody on the horizon that she's thinking of spending the rest of her life with. So she basically, from what I gathered in the parts of the interview I saw, she has a couple of boy toys that, you know, and that's kind of
Yes,
like her life
and that-
now, and
and
she's
that's
fine
what-
with it because she's
that's what
expressing
So
Corey
she's
herself.
the
Holcomb has been
majority of
saying.
single
That's
black
what
women
Corey-
at that age. Like, okay.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Because
Uh-oh.
it ain't cute.
What are
Yes.
you trying to
No,
say?
talk
Are you
about it.
trying to say
Finish it.
single
Finish it up.
old
Finish it
black
up,
women?
Jen.
Yeah, what do you
They
Finish
mean?
that
all,
up,
they
Jen.
all, they would rather have a few boy toys than one that just gets on their nerves.
Well, why,
Right.
you can't
Why
have
is it
one that
okay
don't
for
get on your
them?
nerves?
You said, what if you find one that don't get on your nerves?
Yeah, why you can't find one?
Then
that
they
don't-
marry them and they live happily ever after. Move
Yeah,
to Iowa.
those
They
are
don't live
those
in
are-
Los Angeles.
So see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If she wants to find somebody her age, right, which is
Right.
what mid-50s we'll say,
Right.
right? That person has already had a life and had some kids or whatever, and she probably doesn't want to deal with any of that.
No,
You wanna have
she'd
some
rather
fun,
wear
the
her
young dude.
turtleneck
She's
and
so
no
old.
deodorant.
Kids
Right.
will be old though. What difference would it make?
Yeah,
know,
but she
but you
probably
know
don't want
them
to deal with
damn-
any of that.
you know them
She
damn
seems the type. She
sandals.
seems the type to try to teach you about everything in every
Right.
conversation.
Every
know what I
conversation.
mean?
You know them damn
Every
sandals
time.
that the L word ladies wear, the more masculine type with the white socks. She look like you go to the carnival or something, to the fair with her, and she show up with some freaking high waters on with some white socks and them sandals, and you just looking at her like word, and then like she gets offended and starts trying to teach you about life and Nietzsche.
Right.
Shit.
She
And
probably
I'm
show up
like, in
barefoot.
those shoes. Oh my God. You smell like a fart had an underarm. Like, nah, man. She's
Well,
terrible.
The conversation that she did have was supposed to be, to some degree, inspirational for older women who are single, that they can be perfectly fine and happy. They don't need one man. They can just use a couple of boy toys when they
He's
need
not
them,
the spokesperson
and
for
they
this.
can express their sexuality at 60 years old. And
She look like her spit
Yes,
stink.
but she's not. She's not. You know who's the second. You know who's a spokesperson for that message?
Shaka
Felicia
Khan.
Rashad.
well, Felicia Rashad
For
looks
what
way better
message?
than Cree Summer. Okay.
Yes, she does.
Jada
But
Pinkett.
also, Felicia Rashad has a sense of dignity, has a sense of presence, has a sense of I'm not here. I'm going to listen, but I am
Felicia
going to
has
school
a
you.
femininity about her.
Yes.
that she doesn't
Yes.
have. So
Yes.
that's two completely
You
different
trying
things.
You trying to say Cree Summer is kind of masculine with her one piece kimono on that she got?
Bro, she stole that shit from Bruce
She's just
Lee in
giving monk, like
1976.
it's giving like
Yeah.
just alien vibes. Like Felicia has a whole different. She's like that. That's right, and the soft voice and all that. This is not. that.
Yes.
That's just completely two different.
She said, "This is not that. This is weird."
No, that's why I said she's not the spokesperson for saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, stay sexy in your 60s, and here's how you do it." This is not the blueprint.
This don't give sexy.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
No.
and that's what I was asking.
This gives
'cause
freaky,
I didn't think
and
it
that's
was
why
sexy.
Shan said what she said. Because
Yeah.
like freaky can go
Exactly.
two ways.
And she
She
was
looked
talking
like
about
she
wanted
stocked
to,
produce at the food line.
Yeah, she was
Right.
talking about she
Because-
wanted to get choked. And I'm thinking at
All
that
that
age, you
is-
can't
Whoa.
play like that. You can't play
Not
like
with that
at that age.
No, not.
I mean,
not
she
then.
raps about death, so I mean, she
Can't play
plays
like
with a
that.
lot apparently. So
Yeah.
But here's the
but-
thing. Here's the thing. She looks like
A
whatever relationship
pterodactyl.
she's in right now. You minus 6 years, and I bet you most of those things would be statutory.
Well, here's the funny part.
You know what I mean?
Her-
That's what it seems like.
The father of her two children is 17 years younger than her.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So she like Shannon Sharp. She be going for the
Oh,
young
wow.
ones. She like them young. She's in her late 50s, 60s, whatever.
Hold
She
up.
said she
That's
doesn't
okay.
mess with
She-
nobody
Hold up,
who's 30 or older.
Did her and Kendra G start a club somewhere? Like,
Hold
like
on. Yo, hey Drake, I heard you like I'm young.
Well, so here's
I heard you like I'm young.
I heard you like a
I heard you like I'm young.
So the secondary question was, is it acceptable for a woman in her 60s to just have boy toys in their
Yes.
early 30s?
Yes.
stuff like that.
I don't give a shit about none of that.
Yeah, I don't care what
some of them
people-
old ladies
grown
is
adults
hot,
do.
man. She's
The
just
old men do
not.
the same thing. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
is what it
exactly.
is.
I'm just saying she's weird, yo.
Yo, Nia Long is hot. She's an older woman.
But if a guy, old dude, like I said with Shannon Sharp, if he's an old dude and he's like, yo, I like to
No,
toss
that
around
was
20-year-olds. I like to
Yeah,
toss around
I
20-year-olds.
think-
It is what it is. I like to
I don't
toss
think
around.
people. I don't think anybody in their 50s should be having sex with teenagers.
Yeah, that's
I will die
insane.
on that hill.
Yeah, that,
If
I'm
you
with
have
you
a
on that. I'm
teen
with you on
in
that.
your-
I am with you on that.
He was great.
I
That
was
was
talking about the
It's a little
concept, not the
weird.
specific numbers. I was talking more about the concept of old versus young.
Yeah.
Not because that's weird.
25
what
and
he's talking
up
about.
is an
Yeah.
adult. Yeah, I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah, what
You
he's
gotta have
talking
your
about.
own car, job, and apartment,
Yeah,
please.
I heard you
He
like
still
a
got to drop. He
job.
still got to drop people off at school with the age difference.
Okay.
I heard you like a
Exactly.
You
job.
got to
Not
give
that
him lunch
job.
money. He's still giving out lunch money and stuff. You got to stop, Shannon.
I don't want to
Crazy
have sex
work.
with anybody that I can't have an intellectual conversation with. Like if I don't,
This is
Are
very
you going
true.
to have the intellectual conversation during the sex, or what are we going for here?
no, before the sex,
Possibly.
because
You
I
don't know
need
how
to
freaky
know
that
that
is.
whoever I'm having sex with, if you get pregnant, I'm cool with that. Not like, oh shit.
I don't think Creed's worried about that.
Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
You
know-
need to
Right.
know, like, bro, look, this is what all right, again, I'm 48. Bro, if I could tell my youngster, bro, you don't lay down with people that you aren't equal with. You just don't. Because you don't need no surprises. Like if somebody turns up pregnant, you may not be ready like you would want to be in a really loving relationship, but at least you know, well, I'm with an intelligent motherfucker and we're going to make some good decisions with this child. Period. Don't don't make your
She's too weird
genitals
for
a
me,
dishpan, you know? Huh?
Like I don't believe she holds. I don't believe that she holds any.
Bro, she looked like a butler.
Many principles. I don't think she holds many principles whole like together, like as a ballast of truth. I think that she's wishy-washy with a
That was
couple
a
of things. I think that
5-point
somebody,
word.
you know what I mean? I think that she can be convinced to do things just because of something she read, not by her partner, but by things that she's read from other people, like some podcasts she's seen. She seems wishy-washy in that manner. Like all of a sudden next week she's going to start studying bells, right?
Yeah,
You know what I
she
mean?
look like one of them people that try to push
that's your
tantric
problem.
sex.
You know what I
Let's
mean?
try
Now that's your
tantric
fucking
sex.
problem.
Some breathing exercises. I mean,
Oh
she
my
grew up in media, so it's like at
Like,
the
I'm
end of the
in
day,
this-
they
yeah, I
already
need
got
stability.
cuckoo
God,
stuff
y'all
going
are
on
rough
there.
on Crease.
How now, brown cow?
I mean, she seems
Tie
to be
my
doing
yellow
just
bow
fine in her
tie.
little world. So
I will
that's
say
fine.
this though. Did anybody notice how
She has pretty
how
hands.
old and dirty that table looked that they were sitting at?
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm gonna
notice
bring the
it.
shot up here. Do you see the wrinkles and the cracks
Oh, I
in
do
it?
see it.
We
Yeah,
need some
yeah.
lemon
See,
plaid,
is
some
getting
wood
sanded
glue. We need a
down.
few things on this
That's-
table.
Is
This
that
her
an
house.
Yeah, you
Airbnb?
tell her that.
It's her house.
You're gonna
though.
tell her that
It's her house.
she's gonna say like this.
Oh.
See, this is why you're uncultured. I made this out of pure whale uvula. You know what I mean? That's what she's gonna say.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some weird shit.
All right,
Or like this
well,
was passed down from somebody's like ancient niece or
Right.
something.
Right. This is where Harriet Tubman got her hair done.
Y'all are just so brutal on Cree Summers. I mean, she feels like she's living her best life. She's trying to let women know, hey, you can just do your thing in your younger years. You ain't got to worry about getting married, because she was apparently married before, and you can just have
built
kids
like a
later
13-year-old boy,
and
you
have your time at 60 and get some boy toys. So she's
I'm
sounds
having
like
my
my
fun
Uber
with it.
drivers.
She's an inspiration
Right.
for somebody. So
I'm having my fun, but you know what? Let her do her thing. I'm just having my fun.
Okay.
But if she's gonna be weird in public, I get to make fun of it.
Shan
That's
looked
what-
like a mix between Lala and Maya.
she
Oh, yeah, I
thought
can
she
see it.
looked like,
Kinda- I can
yeah.
She's
see
a,
the-
so you say
the-
she's a liar?
Yeah.
I mean, she, like I said, I think that she's a beautiful woman, but I just don't dig that lipstick color. And I'm not big on colors, but that one just didn't work for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe
That's
it was.
racist.
I
It's
agree.
because she was so light, and then the light, it was just light.
It's
I don't
giving
know.
light-skinned girl from 1986
Right,
color. yeah.
right. And she's got the little
Yeah.
piece wrapped
The
up around on the
specific
head.
year.
You know what? We're not going to do that.
Because we
Hey,
talking Lisa in the Cult Jam. Oh, 87, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because tomorrow.
Yeah, she's definitely giving off the school days
guys,
vibe.
tomorrow is
Yeah.
Mother's Day, so we're going to be very nice.
Big brother
'Cause I don't know.
Almighty.
But
Yeah,
like I
we gonna
said,
come to blows.
ladies, I did want the ladies' opinion though. Lipstick color, is that Was that okay for this outfit, or am I just?
I don't like that color. I know that color. It's Candy Yum Yum by MAC.
Period.
I have it.
Y'all got the candy yum yum.
It's a bit bright. And with the.
I mean, it goes with the pants, but that's a bit much, though.
I'm not into lipstick.
I think she's too
it's more
fair.
of a skin color. Exactly.
Yeah,
it's more of a skin
true.
color
Yes,
than it is the color itself.
It's a bit bold. It's a bit bold for her facial.
And then her
palette.
undertones, like even with the pink blush, she's trying to match it with that. It's a lot going on.
Yeah,
definitely the undertones.
Like a
You
warrior.
gotta watch
Like
the undertones. You gotta watch it with the undertones.
She looked like a warrior.
yeah, like she got it like in a straight line. Like I don't know what's
Like one of
going
them
on.
Mayoris.
Looks a little scary.
Jeez. Wow,
What's that,
guys-
Jason Momoa?
This is really brutal.
She's gonna be the Predator sequel and Prey.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
But there
know
does
about
come
the
a certain
color.
point where people have children and they get older where they do the lipstick thing. I don't know what happens with that.
Oh no.
They're trying to hold on. They're trying to hold on.
They're trying to do something.
They're trying to hold on. Well, guys, we got to get ready to get out of here, but I have to take it out on a different note here because we're gonna pay homage to the mamas,
goodness.
okay, on the way out of here because this is
Mothers.
for the mothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So before we get out of here, I'm gonna just give a couple of special shouts to my guests for the night at the Kelly Corinne show, and of course Genesis stopping in. Did you guys want to plug your
Did you see that comment in the chat though?
Which one?
Draco said candy yum yum in Bill Cosby voice.
See, this is the problem with y'all, man. They're gonna think that we're promoting what Bill Cosby was doing. That's how we get in trouble every time.
Oh, right. You don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I get in trouble. Kelly, I don't know if you go through the same thing on your channel. It's every day with these folks. It's something I said. It's something we laughed at.
Was I being quay too lewd?
It's like sarcasm. They don't like sarcasm when it comes to any topic. So I guess the algorithm is hearing what we're saying, taking it literally, and be like, "Oh, they're promoting this." Like, no, we were just kind of joking, but whatever.
I better be careful then.
Trafficking with Negroes. That was the first one. When I said trafficking with Negroes, they're gonna say we were
So
talking
now
about
you've said it twice in this one. So
because I don't.
That sounds like a how-to video.
Because I don't care.
Mothers.
I'm sorry. So we're gonna take it out, but
hold on. Let them plug their
can you plug your
sites.
socials? Go ahead, ladies.
Yes, you guys can follow me here on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok at The Kelly Corinne Show. I'll drop my channel in the chat. And on every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a show called State of Affairs. This coming up Tuesday, I'm going to do, it's a panel show, and the topic is Passport Bros. And I have a couple Passport Bros that are coming on, and they're going to talk about their experience with that, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So
is this on TikTok?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
it's on YouTube. Yeah, we go live. Yeah, we go live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And last week our topic was colorism, and you guys also can check me out here on YouTube every weekday at noon Eastern Standard Time. I have a morning show with Talks with 2K. It's called Don't Piss Me Off Morning Show. So I won't be there on Monday, but you guys can check it out on Monday anyway. But I'll be there
cool.
Tuesday.
I like 2K. He's got that southern sound. He got that southern sound. Yeah.
Yes, he's the best. He's so funny, and it's really a good show. So I really hope the chat, check us out. Like I said, here on YouTube. And you can follow, check out the show, the Don't Piss Me Off Morning Show at Talks with 2K or my channel. And every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, State of Affairs, where it's a panel show. And thank you so much, Purge, for having me on. I had a blast.
No problem. No problem. You got to bring
panel.
you back.
We
got to bring you back.
Panel. I will be reaching out because I always need panelists on the show, especially you, Genesis. I can never find women. It's so hard. It's so hard to find a woman that's willing to, come on streaming, social media or live or whatever. So, but yeah, like I said, I got everybody's socials and, everybody chat. You can check me out. And again, I really appreciate it, Purge.
All right. No problem. And Genesis, can you let us know all of the wonderful things you're doing as well?
So absolutely. So my dad had to drag me out the trenches to do this. This is like the first time in 3 years that I have gotten all this equipment to get all of this stuff up because I was like, I got to come correct today. But I'm honestly inspired to get back to it. Y'all can definitely follow me on my main platform, which is going to be Jen Hayes on Instagram. I'm going to drop it in the chat. And then I have TikTok, which is Jen Hayes too, because the original Jen Hayes got deleted at 400K. But that's another story. We're suing.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. Crazy. So that's kind of why I lost the love of it. So being on here talking to you guys, I really just appreciate the convo. Definitely check out my podcast. It's called Pretty Genius. It's about having beauty and brains and also style. And it's about basically, you know, women in business, but it's also for the men as well, because there is different aspects of pretty privilege that we do not talk about. So definitely check that out. And yeah, keep up with me on socials. I have YouTube as well. I deleted all my videos because I'm crazy, but I have a lot of collabs and features. I've been featured in magazines. I've been featured in different runway shows. I'm a model as well. So I have all of my collabs and features in one playlist on YouTube. So if you want to check out all the different shows I've done, I've been on Netflix, I've been on Fox, all types of stuff. So we can
she's an actual model. She's like an actual model.
Okay.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
So definitely check that out. I've appreciated all the conversation. I mean, I grew up knowing Brick, so it's really nice to see you. Kelly, it's very nice to meet you. Mr. Bravo, it's good to see you again. And thank you, Dad, for having me on the pod.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to take it out with a special shout to the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you, Jen, for your first Mother's Day ever. So that's going to be pretty cool for you. And to all the mothers watching, happy birthday to y'all. But I just want to play this Mr. T song that y'all may not, Happy Mother's Day. But it's about birth. It's about birth. You know, and we were going to get into this whole conversation about if a person doesn't quite have a kid, if they're allowed to celebrate Mother's Day. But I thought that might be a little too crazy for a conversation, but maybe I'll have that one after the fact. Maybe we'll let
if it's an anal birth, is the baby a shithead?
No.
See, that's not why you be getting in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly why. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. Bravo did not disappoint in showing why we get in trouble all the time. So
I had to do it at least once.
For the mothers, we're gonna have Mr. T sing a special mother song, and when this gets out, we out. And we will see y'all. No show tomorrow, no Sunday show this week. We're going to let the mothers have Mother's Day. And I'll be back on Tuesday morning for the morning show, 11 a.m. So for those who've never joined the morning show, come on into the 11 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, so anyway, let's
there is no other.
Yeah.
Like mother.
Can y'all hear it?
So treat her right.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I'm hearing it, baby.
I always love her. My mother. So treat her right. Treat her right. M is for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that she felt when I was born. O is for the oven with its burning heat, where she stood making sure I had something to eat. T is for the time that she stayed up night and took my temperature when I wasn't feeling right. H is for the hard-earned money she spent to keep clothes on my back and try to pay the rent. E is every wrinkle I put on her face and every worry that I caused when I stayed out late. The last letter R is that she taught me respect, and for the room up in heaven that I know she'll get. Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother, so treat her right, treat her right.
Treat her right, treat your mother right. Treat her right, treat her right.
Treat your mother right.
All right, y'all get it. So anyway.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if you get a copyright strike on this.
He definitely
we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. That's gonna happen. But the point, that's why I had to wait till the end of the show to do it. Because when I cut it out this time, it's not gonna matter because the show is pretty much over. So, I mean, what am I supposed to do? So, I'll say my last goodbyes, and that's pretty much it. Did y'all have a good time? Did you purge yourselves? Everybody in the chat, Draco and them, sorry guys, I gotta give y'all your gongs. Draco, IMZ, and everybody else, all of my mods who stopped in, appreciate y'all, okay? But we gotta get up out of here because if we stay on here too long, we're gonna end up just overstaying our welcome. I wanna thank y'all again for joining another Purge of the BS. We will be back, but if you don't come back, then that, my friends, is the bullshit. And we out.
Bye. Bye, y'all. Good night.
Bye.